Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I'm here. I got Renato Laranja, 27-time world champion.
Yeah, you're lucky you got me here this time.
Thank you. We also have out on jail, fresh out of jail, but out on bail with the Tupac. We got Mayhem Miller is here.
It sounded
Wow.
just like Tupac.
Yeah,
Way
sorry.
to go.
Yes, out on bail.
Blame it on my mama. I'm a thug brother.
Yes. Yeah, there you go.
Out of jail.
We also have Tyler Smith
Yo.
and Greg Romero Wilson.
That's right.
Romero.
We have a lot of
Romero Wilson.
A lot of expertise here. I was telling them before the show, we got a 27-time world champion black belt. We also have a Verdun black belt in Mayhem. Tyler's a brown belt under who?
Under Jeff Nishi, Aloysius Silva, Jiu-Jitsu.
And then we
And
have.
I have a belt that alternates from brown to black depending on which side you use.
There you go. And you have a white belt in coke.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got a black belt in coke, I'm pretty sure.
He's got a black belt in comedy.
A Bobby Brown belch.
Yes, Bobby Brown belt. I want to thank SpeedWeed. We are at SpeedWeed right now. We are at a new location. They're the studio.
Look at this.
Not
Listen,
too shabby.
Fancy.
Thank you, gents.
Fancy.
marijuana is legal in California. Get it delivered. They will deliver it right to you. Just go to @SpeedWeed. Check them out. Don't go to the dispensary. You go there. There's like cops waiting for you to leave, and then they pull you over, and you get a
Bruh.
DUI. I'm not looking at you when I said that.
Spreading propaganda
Okay,
right now.
but instead, get it delivered. Just go to @SpeedWeed. Mention Roasted. You get $10 off, $100 or more. I'm telling you. SpeedWeed, they rule. Thank you, Gino, for having us here. Yes. So
Is that what all those fucking scooters are for here in Hollywood?
Yes.
Oh.
For,
To deliver weed, yep.
Oh, the weed.
so,
Not all of
speaking
them.
of those fucking scooter, there's not many things I hate more than the fucking thing.
Right?
I cannot stand. This is a
When they're on the
plague.
sidewalk.
what is it about the scooters you hate so much?
Okay, every fucking time I come down the sidewalk, sometimes I like to listen to a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm listening to an MMA host, okay?
Right.
I got my doggy. It's a beautiful sunny day. And then I hear, my man, yo, what? And somebody's going brush past me and fuck me up, or they come in this way and that way on the fucking sidewalk. And I it's fuck up the peace here.
And then what do?
Oh, trust me, it's not good.
Because I know that before you were getting into fights in the basketball court.
Yeah,
People
this have caused a couple almost terrible situations. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because you got these young fucking kids and they got no respect. And then also when they done with it, they toss the fucking shit in the middle of the sidewalk.
Yeah,
the place is littered with these fuck those fucking things. I hope they outlaw that shit. And I never seen a cop give not one ticket for that one.
Yeah.
They got to know who's back.
Who?
I don't know.
It's true. They got no respect. Meanwhile, so.
Oh.
Yeah. Respect. Now, by the way,
Who's back? Huspect.
so yesterday, so I've been, me and Scott Baio are friends. We go back, way back.
Why you pointing at him when you said Scott Baio?
Oh,
I don't know,
He
but
does
Scott
look
Baio,
like
baby.
a tough Scott Baio.
Dead
He's
hang
the
up on
widest,
Scott.
closest Republican one we have.
So,
God,
so Scott's daughter when she was born, was like diagnosed with like a really rough disease, and it was a false positive. But they have this charity show for kids that have these kind of diseases, right?
What are we talking about?
So anyway, so they always hire me to do comedy at this event.
Great choice.
So it always goes terrible. But so this time, right? They had this
Does
big.
he come up and give an impassioned speech
It
about
was-
a disease his child doesn't have?
No, but yeah, basically they raise all kinds of money for kids that actually have the disease.
Sounds like Scott Baio.
If my daughter had it, it would be so bad. She
you start
doesn't. We're
crying
cool.
and
No, they raise all kinds of money for kids that
No,
have
I'm
it.
sure.
Yeah, but
I'm just joking.
but then
I
the
don't
money
mean to
goes-
Then when
disparage
it goes to
anybody
the
doing
families,
something good.
I
I'm just
see the
joking.
families come up there with the checks that they get $20,000, or they send them to all kinds of hospitals.
Damn.
It's really, really nice.
It's easy
awesome.
to pay.
I gotta get a fake disease.
$1,500 to say that, and then you keep the house.
No, they're not doing that. Anyway,
Listen, Chach.
So they hired me. They hired me to do comedy.
Chachi love
Yesterday,
money.
it was a celebrity
Money
golf
love Chachi.
tournament, and they wanted me to do comedy while people are like playing golf, right? Which is
So you was one of the celebrity, or you not?
I wasn't one of the
considered a
celebrities, right? So first they had me roast Scott, but it was one of those things where like everyone's in the golf cart.
Were you hosting his daughter?
No. It's 10 o'clock in the.
No, just the sick kids.
I'm not gonna get through the story. So it's.
Go ahead.
He doesn't even have a good excuse for this anymore.
Let me tell the fucking story. So it's 10
I
o'clock.
was on my
We should
way
invite some more
home.
people on this. Round it out to even 6. You know what I mean? I think
no.
we'll have enough guys that people will listen if we have 42.
So it's 10 o'clock in the morning, right? So they have me first. Like Renee goes. Renee Scott's wife. She gives me the mic. Goes, be funny. Like everyone's everyone's in their golf carts, ready to play golf, right? I drove back from Scottsdale 7 hours the night before. I got home at 6 o'clock in the morning. It was just I'm there not 9:30 in the morning, and I have like jokes about Scott. Like, it's great to be here at this benefit for Scott Baio's career.
So great.
He's like 59 years old. So I'm like, Scott, he's almost 60, and I did a whole thing. He's a big Trump supporter because he wants to make America great again to the time when he was relevant.
Oh,
so
okay.
I was just, but no one's listening. Everyone's in their fucking golf carts, ready to head out. So now people are ready to hit the golf balls, and I have to go roast them while they're hitting golf balls, right?
Well, that's fun actually. I do that.
Sounds fun. You can roast their clothes, their stands.
It's like and one mixtape or whatever, like talking shit while they're doing it. Like.
So they gave me a list of people. So one of the girls, Donna D'Erico, right? Beautiful playmate.
She was D'Erico?
She was married to is that?
She was a playmate. I think.
Yeah. She was married to Nikki Sixx.
Wait,
You know how to pronounce her name.
How did he say it?
D'Erico?
D'Erico? What is it?
D'Erico?
Now I can't say it. D'Erico.
Donna Jericho.
Donna D'Erico, I think is
So she's about to play golf, and they gave me like notes on him, but not any notes. I just Googled her. She was married to Nikki Sixx.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, listen, anybody's not gonna get mad at your partner for cheating. She married Nikki Sixx, right? So she's like, no Nikki Sixx jokes. I was like, I didn't know this, right? So then I was like, what about Bret Michaels? And then I started naming rock stars.
My God.
The guy from Dawkins.
That she fucked? Oh,
she was laughing, sort of, but the guy she was with, I guess, like, people can pay money to also golf with the celebrities.
Right.
He's like, hey, back golf or something. And I was like, dude, she's not going to date you. I'm like, it's not going to work.
White knighting
Yeah,
Nikki
right.
Sixx ex-wife.
Yes.
God bless him.
And then the guy
That's what
walks
you get for
away
hanging
like
out with
all mad, and
Republicans.
then I end up meeting her, and she was super sweet.
Did you end up wending home with
No,
her?
I have a wife.
This
but
is recent.
This is yesterday.
I
Then,
thought
like,
this was an old
you gotta
story. You're
keep
naming
up,
all
man.
these 80s.
Hey,
Hey, bro.
somebody
Pay
get
attention.
Google Translate on this motherfucker.
Hey, you know what? You just
He's
came
like-
out. Don't make me put you back.
And then,
No.
and then Lorenzo Larkin was golfing. Lorenzo Larkin was there.
Oh, Lark. I like Lorenzo.
No. Lorenzo Lamas, not Lorenzo. Lorenzo Lamas.
That's a very different.
Yeah.
Lorenzo Larkin.
Lorenzo Lamas, the guy from Renegade.
Yeah, Hennigan is one of the best.
Yeah, so he was golfing, and I was like, hey, I'm a big fan. He's like, thanks. I'm like, what's your name? And then it was funny. People were laughing. Tyler was laughing.
Still
Yes,
funny.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Thank you. That was fun. And that was my day yesterday. And then, anyway, so let's talk about Mayhem Miller, the man.
Welcome back, my
Welcome
brother.
back.
Above ground.
I talked to you probably like 10 times when you were in jail.
Incarcerated.
How do you feel, man? What's the first thing you did when you got out of jail?
Ate an ice cream sundae.
Fat line of Coke.
You porn?
You porn?
Something like that.
call.
You know what I
Really?
mean?
One of them.
Yeah.
One of them. Yeah.
Nah, I
Like
I don't
6
know,
times
bro.
in a row.
Listen, I'm just fresh out. I came on your podcast. This is the first thing I
thank
did.
you.
Wait,
man.
when did you
So
came
here,
out? When did you?
Like yesterday.
For real?
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
welcome back.
well, you look good, man. You look like you've been in shape.
He said, I know.
You do. You look fresh. You look really fresh.
Now, you
Lots
said on
of
the phone
dips.
you were leading the workouts.
Yeah.
Like,
I know, yeah. It's like weird. Like I actually like brought a weird balance to the prison community. Like I got the blacks and whites and Serenios like all together, like doing push-ups, pull-ups, squats, like do a full workout.
Like every day.
Yeah, every day, yeah. So
Morning?
it's like
Not much else to do, really.
yeah.
That's like
You know
Kim
what I mean?
Jong-il.
And I was like the man on the block with bread, and anytime you needed something to eat, I got you. Just give me a book, and so.
Oh, I thought you was gonna
read
say something
couple-
else.
Hey,
me a
How long were you in there?
a year about.
and what's hard for me, but well, obviously harder for you. But like you were like, I'm getting out in September. I'm like, yes.
I know.
Then it was
What
like,
about what's
I'm
hard
getting.
for me?
Then it was like, I'm getting out in January. Then
What's
you were like,
hard for me was the phone call.
I'm getting out in April.
But I was
This guy
on my
was
comfortable
having a
couch.
bummer making fun of supermodels, and I'm standing, squatting down by the phone that's just a little bit too
lot
far
harder for
down.
you.
Where
But I
someone's
was-
gonna
Yeah.
stab you for the fucking phone.
Exactly.
But I was legit concerned that they were lying to you and that you were gonna, because someone said he's looking at 20 years. And I was
They stepped me back. Luckily, I hit the streets, and I'm good. Yeah.
Wow. Now, did anybody try to test you when you were there? Because you're obviously like a pro athlete, pro fighter. Anybody ever say like, if I take him, then I can say that I beat up Mayhem or?
Nah, they got squashed down pretty quick. It was a dark It was a dark section that I was in. All my friends were murderers. It was pretty interesting. I mean,
So it's
I
like
gotta write
MMA.
this book. Yeah, I gotta write this book eventually.
for sure.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just passed the time, with like a dude who like shot his dad, like and his wife, like, because he told him to quit drinking, get a job. So. I mean, this dude was a nut job.
Quit drinking,
I
get
don't
a
know.
job.
Get a job.
I feel like they said it more than. I feel like they said it more than once, though. To be fair.
He didn't put him in a position to succeed, though.
I know. I agree.
Wow.
I agree.
You gotta give them the tools to.
I
Get
got
a job, you-
like my neighbor was a dude who cut somebody's dick off.
No
Just got
way.
Convicted. Yeah.
That's
What did that guy
Crazy.
do now?
I know, right?
You don't just
he
get your
didn't-
dick cut off
He
for
didn't give him the
nothing.
$1 million.
What? Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, really?
there's a story. There's a backstory to this.
Yeah. Well, how I
It doesn't just
understand
start at $1 million. That's
How I understand it is.
Oh, okay, this is
They
gonna be
kidnapped him,
Oh, okay, like that.
tortured him.
Okay.
Said, "Give us the $1 million." He kept saying,
I'm gonna
don't
cut
got
your
the
dick
$1 million
off
up." And they did.
I got it.
Wow.
Damn, dude.
I know.
I can't
Hey,
change the subject.
Yeah, he's a pretty good. He had some good books, man. He let me read the biography of Benjamin Franklin. So,
Oh, yeah?
yeah, he's a sweetheart.
No.
He just cuts off dicks, in his
Well, he
spare
got
time.
Hey, you know what?
In
Some
all
people make
fairness.
mistakes. You know? Some people make
And
mistakes.
some people don't come back from their mistakes.
Yeah.
I got a question. What's for the people out here? What's the most common misconception about jail or prison that you?
I don't know. Everybody always hits me. Like, oh, do you watch Orange is the New Black?
Oh, God.
Fucking
Oh, my
no.
God.
Like, why would I want to re-experience? And then I did see an episode or two, and yeah, they got some of it
No.
back. But we're not all like knitting sweaters and socializing like that. Man, it's a dark, cold place, and I recommend anybody don't go there.
But you told me you guys were watching stand-up comedy and no one was laughing.
Bro, the worst.
You got some of his specials in there?
Yeah.
Oh, zip
No,
it,
no,
zip it.
Hey,
no.
That's cruel and unusual
I didn't
punishment.
mean
That is
that.
illegal.
I didn't mean
They
that.
can't do that. They can't do
funny.
that.
Okay.
Hey, but yeah, I did tell you that. No, it was I don't know, the channel was on. And if you bomb and you bomb in jail, man, you bomb. Like, change the fucking channel. Like dudes were getting pissed. Like
A lot of
livid.
fights go on over that shit, though. Hide the channel.
The TV,
Yeah,
man.
that's
Yeah.
a big one now.
Listen, the TV goes off for a little while. You hear dudes start scratching. I need my TV. That's the real opioid of the masses.
else?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And but wasn't the guard telling you like updates on,
Oh yeah,
on like the fights?
I
the
got
fights,
live
right?
updates
on the
It was-
fights.
It was better than your commentary. I swear to God. Yeah. Some of the
'cause you
and
knew about-
sometimes you could see it in the bubble. If you stood upstairs, you could look down in the cops' bubble. They were watching the fights.
Because you knew about the Ben
UFC.
Askren getting knocked out
Oh,
in 5
man,
seconds.
I got that 5 seconds after you got 5 seconds.
Wow.
God.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
What can you get in terms of any kind of internet or news or whatever the fuck? I mean, is there anything for a privilege you get some shitty
No.
restricted thing or
yeah.
something?
I mean, if someone smuggles an iPhone up their ass, but
Okay.
nah.
So there's no way in a fucking library you get some bullshit or something. No. Okay.
Nah.
Now, when you're sitting
I
there,
can't believe we're talking so casually about something so painful to me. I appreciate you guys.
No problem,
Thank you
man.
guys. You're
Well,
helping
'cause
me.
it's
You're helping me
Exactly.
get
Get
over
it out of here.
the
You gotta
pain
talk
of
through it, man. Yeah.
It's interesting
That's what
stuff.
What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? Motherfucker, you weren't locked in a box for goddamn year.
well, of course not. I felt so bad for you, man.
You were locked in a different kind
At the
of
same
box
time,
with your wife.
at the same time,
Yeah, forever.
at the same
Forever.
time,
Yeah, that's
Locked
a life.
in that house.
Eternal damnation.
At
with
the
this
same
guy.
time, I
Me
think
too.
that, like,
I
you
got
know
my own
what, man?
lockbox.
Like, the road you were on, doing a year sucks, but
I
it
know.
wasn't 50 years.
Listen, I'll be honest. Thank you, state of California. You know what I mean? I needed to shake it up and be complete. I thought about running off to the woods and going old fucking Jesse Ventura. You know what I mean?
Or
Off
you
the
mean
grid.
John Hamball?
What, John Hancock? Okay,
Rambo?
So
Yeah.
John Hambo.
So me and Hambo, we got a lot together.
I
But
thought he said handball.
But
I'm
yeah,
like, who's
but
John
instead,
Handball?
you
I
know
don't
what I
what
mean?
you
It
guys-
worked out that way, and I'm good. It really reset me. I got new priorities, I was living close to the edge, bro. Always, whenever there was nah, maybe you shouldn't do that. That voice was getting so quiet, so far away. And instead I was like, yeah, fucking do that shit. Let's go. And that when you always have that in your head, bro, you live reckless.
Yeah.
You live
but that's almost
reckless.
I mean, I wasn't trying to no pun, but it's almost like a death wish. It's like that's what happened when you feel like, fuck this. I just want to do something that's going to end up
it may have saved your life ultimately.
You know what? I'll agree with that. Going through it,
Didn't think so sure, but now.
Well, that's how it always is, though, right?
Yeah,
like
the
the
shit you
shitty
hate.
part of life where you're like, fuck, this sucks.
Yeah.
A month after it's done, you're like, oh, yeah, that's
maybe
why.
years
Oh, yeah,
after.
I needed that.
But I remember saying to you, like, man, you keep getting in trouble. You must have the best lawyer in the world.
Kinda.
You kept
Kinda,
skating
yeah.
out. Like,
well, I mean, if on paper, the shit is terrible. But then when you investigate it more, I mean, it's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So
You got to go on the hold with this material. Hey, I tell you, this shit I did is terrible.
So,
it's
you know,
fucking horrible.
I got the opportunity to be forced to grow up a lot faster than I really wanted to. And, you know, I'm happy now. Like, I'm like happy, calm. I'm in the calm little center of the universe, baby.
yeah.
Well, good. Well, hold on to that, man. Treasure that. Protect that.
People do it.
Seriously, I mean, that's the most important thing is
Chubby
keeping that
little
together.
Buddha. You're just
Right?
adorable.
Right?
Thank you.
No, but Jason,
But I mean
people do love you, man. You inspired a lot of people, and people are rooting for you. And everyone likes.
I see that. Yeah,
Everyone
And
likes
I
a good
appreciate
comeback story
that.
too.
Yeah,
You know.
Yeah. God bless me.
But here's the thing: do you got a support system around you? Like because that's one of the things. If you're floating around, no, I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm
Yeah,
from
yeah.
personal
I agree.
experience.
Yeah, I definitely have that.
Yeah, like
Even if you don't have like
the time you punched me in the face. Remember the time?
Do I ever?
Yeah, we
had
did
to
a
check
comedy
you.
show together, right? And I had a party. And
I killed that night. I don't know how.
I forgot to
there
tell
were
him about
6
the party,
people there.
right? He's like, I was like in Riverside. I'm like, let's do a comedy show, right? So we go there, and then he's like, you didn't invite me to your party? And he gives me like a couple uppercuts. And like, okay, haha. And then comes with a fucking left hook and
he
right in my
ducked
eye,
into it.
right? And I gotta go on stage. It was like
He
one of those.
ducked into it.
It was one of
He
the,
ducked into it. All I did was throw a punch.
it was. He's like, it was
You
one
saw
of
it
those,
coming. I telegraphed
It was one
it
of
on
those, like,
purpose.
Yeah, a mile away.
It was one of those cartoon bumps that just goes, whoop,
like
right?
a speed knot. Yeah.
And then,
Little mouse.
and then he goes.
Bro, I'm never gonna hear the end of this.
Then he starts crying, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, you punched me and you're crying, like, fuck.
I felt terrible. You look so pathetic with your fat egg head.
But you knew there was problems when
And then I got to do comedy after that with a fucking big bump growing on my
Well,
head.
Yeah, you did pretty good. I
It was
gotta
probably
say,
funny.
You nailed
to
it
tell
that
the
night.
truth.
He goes, finally, you got hit by a real fighter. I'm like, great, Jason. That's exactly
That
what I
is something
wanted.
you could say.
That's what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
Man.
And then I sent him the picture, and every time I called him, that
it's still
on
there,
his
yeah.
phone. That's what like
That would come off as
yeah, fucking guy. But so Greg, you had a comedy contest.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna win. But we're by far the funniest comic on this contest. What happened?
What was it? Where was the? What is
It was in Lancaster. It was one of those things where it's, judges. You know what? I don't like any contest where there's not an audience vote.
Yeah.
Because I always
yeah.
win the audience vote.
Yeah.
Judges, they get all in their heads about, well, I like this, and I don't prefer if they do that. Although I did very clean material. I did a very long, but at the end of the day, I mean, listen, the audience, they invited the audience from the first show to stay and be the audience for the second show. So they'd already, by the time I got up there, they'd seen 16 comics, 160 minutes of stand-up.
God damn.
And they were just, and I mean, I was pulling out a lot of big tricks for them. And while I thought I obviously did more than well enough to move on, I mean, the fact of the matter is that audience is very dead, and ultimately it wasn't a crusher performance, and nobody crushed that came on that late in the thing. The audience was fucking dead.
Did they
In
have
fact,
a warm-up?
I spent the first 3 minutes talking about how dead they were.
Who are the
and
judges?
trying to bring them back to life. I don't know, some randos. There was one guy involved that I've been screwed in 2 other contests, and both times he was one of these judges, and I'm convinced that this guy is part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because he's one of those guys that acts like he's your friend, but you could tell he's incredibly jealous of what you're doing.
Yeah.
And he's one of those guys.
Or
Wait,
what
are
anybody's
they
doing.
comedians?
Former.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Like
It's
the
like
kind that
open
teach
mic.
classes of
No more
comedy and
dead
shit.
air.
Well, listen, I teach classes. So
I did a show. I did a contest one time for Good Morning America. Was looking at like the funniest person.
Oh, I remember that. I remember
and it was
doing
like
that.
20 years ago, and I was in my rebel stage of comedy of like I just want to do fucking edgy jokes and fuck these people and they don't know funny. And so I just did like they're like be clean, and I had the dirtiest set. Like I was like, and like there was like people in the crowd would hold up signs, and a couple of people would hold up 10s, and then people were holding up 10s but covering the 1s, so it was 0. Like that wasn't even an option.
You got zero.
I got
zeros.
Damn, dude. That's
I got-
cold.
I got-
Only thing better than getting a 10, getting a 0.
Right, exactly.
Right.
Loved or hated.
Right.
By the way, so did you guys watch the fights last week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you watch the fights? So what happened was the main event was
He was
Got out
still in
yesterday,
jail
dude.
at that point, I think.
so it was Jeremy
You're
Stevens.
lucky you didn't watch the
Jeremy
fight.
Stevens versus Yair Rodriguez was the main event, and 5 seconds into the thing, Yair eye pokes him.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Don't make it like he eye pokes him. He went like
He
this.
grazed his face, and what was weird about it was at
No, I'm
first.
kidding, I'm kidding.
Wait a minute. Wait, here's the thing. And I'm not saying he didn't get poked in the eye. What was weird was at first he was wincing his right eye, and then it became about his
He
left
got poked
eye.
in both.
Is that
Hold
what
on,
it
y'all.
was?
see it. It
Hold
hit
on.
both.
Here's one. My theory, but it could be hung. But it's the best theory I came with. Because when it happened, okay, so it was the
Stevens threw a
he
left,
goes,
like
he
a
goes,
left
no, he goes like this
jab,
though.
yeah.
He goes and then later they're checking shit and he's like like, and that's the one that can't open.
Yeah.
But then before that shit, right before that shit, he threw
Oh,
a
yeah,
front
yeah, yeah.
kick. And I think maybe it was a chow, and because it was like you know how sometimes you get hit somewhere and then it goes you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I think that it might be that he caught a chow, and then when he covered, step down, yeah, like that.
Is toe pokes illegal?
It's legal. No, it's legal.
It's,
All right.
have you ever been eye poked in a fight?
Hell yeah. I mean, so much that this one is a little fuzzy. Like, I got jabbed in the freaking eye so many damn times. Guys fucking...
But Jeremy Stevens is a killer. I don't think he's going to try to get out of a
No,
fight.
I didn't think so.
But
It
that's
seemed
why-
like he genuinely could not open the eye. He was trying. The doctor was trying.
They couldn't even pry it.
That's
They-
why my
right,
theory
like he
was
was-
about the Cho, because I feel like
Yeah.
he wasn't lying about not being able to see, but maybe it was that he didn't even realize how fucked up from
But then
the
it was,
kick.
it
I
was
don't
so it
know.
was in Mexico City, right? And then Yair was pissed because he was like he thought
No,
Steven.
yeah, I love how you
Yair?
say not Italian.
What's his
Latino
name?
names. Yeah.
Yair.
He always makes
Yair.
it like an old Jewish name.
Noel.
Yeah, Noel. Yeah, instead of Yoel. Instead
Yeah,
of
Yoel.
Yoel Homero, he go, Yoel was very
Mashugana.
Yoel was very tight.
Y'all come back
He
real
looks-
soon now.
The
Y'all
boxing
come
kid.
back real soon.
So he was really mad.
Yoel
So
Brenner.
like Bisping's commenting now, right?
Y'all tied
David
log on the
Brenner.
fire.
So Bisping's commenting, and then Bisping grabbed him like, "Hey man," and then he's like, "Get off me!" And
He
then
called him a puto.
I called him a puto, and then the audience started throwing drinks at everybody.
Yeah.
So,
Drinks.
Yeah.
No,
That's
when they
nice.
Drinks,
declared
ice
it,
cubes, bottles,
when they
everything.
declared it a disqualification, they started throwing everything:
But-
bottles, cups,
To-
everything.
to
You would have
Bisping-
thought it was a lucha libre fight. I was like, holy
To
cow!
Bisping's credit, he stood there and the other people were hiding under the desk and stuff, and he was going like this. Like, as they were throwing.
Now, are you and Bisping cool?
Let's go.
By the way.
Yeah, I mean, as far as I know.
Because I remember there was one time in The Ultimate Fighter where you guys almost went at it, and then he was like, I remember him asking my friend, how fucking big is Mayhem? Like, because I think you were like 230 at the time.
Mayhem is a lot
pretty
bigger than
heavy.
people
If
think he
anybody's
is.
wondering, he's big.
Yeah.
No, it's for heel. Some people don't realize that how fucking
Well,
big
because
you
I
are.
always fought like
Yeah.
light as hell. You know what I mean? I like did 170.
Did you guys ever train? Did you guys ever train together before that fight? No.
No.
But Bisping, who hasn't got into a beef with Bisping? I mean, he's one of those kind of cat who,
Yeah.
he's
Like he's like the nicest dude ever.
yeah, but
Yeah,
he's one of those
but he
guys
loves to poke
that's
the bear.
That's
spicy
his game,
and fiery,
yeah.
you
He
know.
pokes
And
the
then
bear.
before that, Carla Esparza fought, and people thought that Carla lost. It was one of those things where she
That
won.
was a toss up.
She won the first two by wrestling,
Yeah.
and then lost the third, but she lost the third big. So it's one of those things where like who did more damage versus who won the fight.
Either way, it was a toss up.
I thought Grasso won it pretty handily.
I didn't.
I was completely. And then they go back and was that the one where they double checked the scorecards?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like the announcer couldn't believe it. He was like, "What? No,
I
let's
don't-
see this again." And they went and recalculated the scorecards.
Well,
And
it's
then-
kind of like we're
so-
using that archaic boxing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're using boxing. Like,
I don't think it was a robbery. I don't think it was a robbery. I had it going either way. It was. It depends on how you judged. I think the second it was either the first or the
Who'd you
second
gotta
was
hook up
more.
with, by the way?
Well, I don't know. I'm not gonna say because I know Caja, and I don't want to ever say the other one.
Oh, okay. What about you, Greg?
What now? What?
Carla or the other one?
Oh, Grasso, by far.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
She's hotter.
I don't know. I don't know. Carla's got.
You know what? There's an element of that. You know what I mean? There's no such thing as a fair fight.
Wait, are we
Whoever
talking
gives
about
the
who
judge
we'd
a
rather
bigger
jam on,
boner,
or are we talking
you know
who we
what I
thought
mean?
won?
Could
I don't
win.
know.
About who's
How did you
hotter.
put it
in my heart?
How to do what to?
What?
We rather do what?
I don't remember what I said.
What did he say?
He said like jam on.
Yeah, who we gonna jam on? Or who we gonna
Jam on?
Yeah, who we gonna jam on? Or who we gonna actually watch? Who we thought won the fight?
How often have you
For me,
jammed?
both of them.
Pearl Jam.
Listen,
Jam on?
sometimes you make
Pearl
a
jam?
You never heard? I think that's
Sometimes
what that
jam.
means.
Listen,
Pearl
I'm
necklace,
learning
yeah.
a bunch of new words today. You guys are fucking blowing my
Pearl
mind.
Jam is cum.
You can
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
literally
they
you
call
can-
it.
Now,
I
now,
thought
Mayhem,
so.
have you by accidentally paid someone in cigarettes at the store yet or no?
Accidentally, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Really?
Or ramen noodles, too.
Yeah,
You're paying
ramen noodles is the
Ramen
way to
is
make
big
it.
in
Really?
Hey,
prison.
man, yeah. Ramen noodles, you know what I mean? Things
Cup of noodles or like top ramen?
Nah, that's like top ramen.
The block.
bag of
Little
things.
package,
you know,
yeah.
Like some guys just stack them up,
Yeah.
stacking cheese.
And they eat them sometimes just like chips, right? They put
Hell
the
yeah.
you just put the
Hell yeah.
seasoning.
Way
That's
to
the
do it.
only
They just
way
put
I've
the
ever
seasoning
eaten.
and eat that shit.
Now I heard you were getting I heard from you. You were getting a lot of fan mail of like bigger women.
Well, yeah, it
well,
was.
Yeah.
A big, little. There was like actually a variety. After I told you,
Yeah.
The first batch was like a bunch of big ladies. Like I was like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? Some got rejected.
They finally knew where to find you.
Yeah. I know. And you know, it's a phenomenon.
Did you write them back or no?
A couple. I did. Thank you very
Where was you
much.
at? Which one were you at?
It was
San Quentin.
Lacey, yeah, yeah, Chino, yeah. So I was over there. I was writing. I would write back. I'd send Christmas cards to everybody.
Really?
Yeah, you can get Christmas cards. Off
Now the
commissary.
girls saying like topless pics, they're not allowed to do that.
Nah, not allowed, bro.
You're not allowed?
Not allowed. You're not allowed to have. Look, the only
I didn't know
porno
that.
I saw in that whole time was a crumpled up penthouse, like girl blowing some guy from like 1992. And I recognized it because I had that same porno in 1990.
You were a kid, that's right.
Yeah, it was 90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's like
It was
I
all-
remember
It
this.
was all folded.
Donna to Erica.
It was all folded and crusty.
Has
I
it-
was like,
now-
and then somebody handed it to me, like, "Yo, man, check this." And I was like, "What?" And I opened up this little jet because I thought the guy wanted me to read his paperwork. A lot of guys, like I was like a jailhouse lawyer. Everybody wanted me to read their case and tell my opinion on it and whatever.
imagine?
So I Mayhem the lawyer, and then I open up this freaking
What I would
thing,
do.
and it's this girl from 1990 smoking pole.
You think it's
It
been
was
passed
ridiculous.
around in that jail since 1990?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Undoubtedly. That thing was-
Undoubtedly.
that probably been in someone's rectum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the only way to get into the bathroom.
You have to have it.
Pretty
Wow.
gangster,
It's like
I
gold.
know.
You would want that shit
Listen,
too.
and hey, and not no joke. I like put it myself, forgot about it. And this skinny kid named Peanut came by. Hey man, you still got that paperwork? He's like, oh, like looking over his
All
shoulder.
that paper.
Yeah, I was like, paperwork? What are you talking about? And he's like, and he's like making a blowjob sign. I was like, oh, yeah, here, take that shit.
Just
I don't
fiending
want it.
for that shit.
Yeah,
Dude,
fiending,
nothing
bro.
was
Hey, you got
funnier.
that, paperwork?
You know what,
Nothing.
though? I would like to think that model somewhere would be proud.
Listen,
Yeah.
she's
That
probably
her
a
work
grandma.
lives on.
She's probably got a girl on Instagram.
probably doing the Dime Hour
blowing
next
dudes
week.
for
Oh,
coins. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
Oh,
it's
for
just-
sure.
And
She
that
might
the
be a
cycle
grandmother by now.
continues.
What about, hey, you
Yeah.
got that paper?
Yeah, you got that paperwork? He's like, oh.
Now, are you well versed in law? Are you-
I mean, I know enough about it now because
Yeah.
it was funny. I met some kid this weekend. It was like, yeah, I'm going to school for criminal justice. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm a criminal. And he was like, really?
my brain,
like, he
bro.
started acting nervous, and I was like, I just seen the other side, and I'm trying to get a nonprofit started to kind of advocate for guys and to kind of change these archaic laws, like the way that we don't. It's like we demonize people who do drugs and and drink and fuck up. We make them devils and we ostracize them, and then they get cordoned off from society. It happened to me. Like the first time I fucked up, there was a point where, okay, we can help this dude. He's fucking up. He's obviously on the wrong path. Let's get him into some kind of treatment. Nope. They just throw you in a box and then fucking torture you until you're like, oh God, I can't wait to get out and drink. I can't wait to get out and like get fucked up again. And then what happens? You know, we got a society that
it becomes
now.
a cycle, yeah.
And look, I'm speaking to the choir here, but there's a lot of people trying to make America great again, and all we've really done is lock people up all the damn time. And instead of fix the problem, we're here, you know.
You know what the problem?
We're exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Problem.
Yeah.
That was just
The problem
about
is
to
it
say.
became for profit.
You have to take out the money in it.
Well,
Exactly.
no, they just passed legislation in California. They're taking out. There's no more for-profit prisons. I don't know how that's going.
But then there's also tax incentive. There's also ways that they incentivize that shit. And until that shit is out, it's just like politics. Until you take the money out of it, wherever you got money,
It's corrupted.
If you got an incentive to keep somebody there and to keep those beds filled, they're gonna find a way to keep them filled.
Yeah.
Sure.
And there's no money in. It's just like medication. There's no money in curing him.
Right, no.
There's money only in keeping his
him
fucking
get
ass.
the medication
Yeah.
over and over and over and over.
Yeah, so you got to
exactly.
keep his ass in there, in and out of there, and hopefully to keep him there for an extended stay.
That's what they do. They don't care.
Yeah.
Look, if all of us right here, if the government would give us money for like helicopter and some tanks and some machine guns, we would take that money. We'd be like, hell yeah. Oh my God. You know, like, fuck yeah. We would have a sweet ass, like, I don't know what kind of party we'd have. Bank robbing party, I guess, with this crew. But
I'm glad you're starting to think outside the box.
What kind of party? Some kind of crime party, right?
Wait, yeah, where's
what I'm saying is-
Hold on, like some kind of a crime
Some kind of spree.
Hold on.
Yes.
Hold
what
on,
I'm
where's this
saying
going?
is that's happening every day because the sheriff's departments, they get all this money not for treatment and helping people and shifting, you know what I mean, things towards like a
Rehabilitation, right.
Yeah, that's not even a question. Most of the guy, like every guy in there, they're like, I've been coming to jail my whole life. They tell me, I've come to jail my whole life. I've never seen anything like rehabilitation. I just come here to like learn how to be a criminal better.
Yep.
And that's what they do. And it's sad, man. It's fucked up because, you know, we owe it as like the greatest nation on earth to like bring up the dregs of society, bring them up out of that. And there's a lot of kids you can catch young and take them up on a good path instead of just this cycle. It's a circle where they walk into jail, they walk out of jail. Now I'm stigmatized. I got nothing to do, so now I'm a gangster.
But you know,
That's
the
all.
attitude in this, you know, is in this country is like, you know, hey, look, pull your fucking self up by your bootstrap.
Good
if you
luck.
can't, go
Yeah.
fuck yourself.
I know.
I got
Good luck.
mines. Go fuck yourself.
Well, that's like everybody pretends they have this idealized vision of the past. Where they're like, no, my grandfather got no help from anybody.
Yeah.
He came here and he worked hard. It's like, really?
Well, yeah, there was also one
Really?
fucking store in the town. So, like,
No,
take
it's
your
like,
pick
were
of
you
what you want to
there?
open up.
Now,
What
Mayhem,
business
how-
do you want
Everybody
to
gets
start?
help.
How hard-
Everybody needs help. At
How
some
hard
point.
was it? How hard is it going to be for you to not look at like, oh shit, I was on top of the world, bully beat down,
Bro,
then I was
listen,
like,
I already gone through that. Like
Yeah.
that was what the last 5 years was about.
That's
for
pro-
me.
yeah, that's-
was like I've already crashed, burned, and I was already kind of before this last term. I was kind of like climbing my way up out, but I couldn't keep it together. Like shit just got fucked up. You know, I was like smoking too much of that Joe Rogan. I was eating some of them Rush Limbaughs. I was doing this, that, and the other, and I never was like very, you know, focused. I had a few guys that I trained. I had some fighters, but like that didn't really keep me as online as it should have. Now I got a new outlook on life. I got, you know, a company that I'm putting together. I got that nonprofit I'm putting together. So I got all this stuff, and it's like the kind of fun I have now isn't the kind of fun where I was like obliterated and like just like doing some damn rock star lifestyle. Right. I like went, man, look, this rock star shit ain't working out for me. You know what I mean? It's time to fucking, you know.
I'm so glad to hear that. I mean, we definitely have some fun memories. I like
well, punching you in the head is not a fun memory.
No, but
I'm trying to make.
But even like that party you had, right? That party that like Carla was there, Ashley, we had all these fighters there, and then Christoph, and then you run outside naked holding your dog.
Yeah.
Like.
Well, look, man. Look, I know.
That's just a good party. I used to do
do
that in college. I mean, that just...
Yeah, for every one of those parties, I got like 5, like where I wake up like like covered in someone else's blood. Like I'm like, where did this come from? Like, you know what I mean? And like I'm
that shit
like
gotta
trying to go
stop.
back to the strip club, and they go, man, you can't come back here. You beat everybody up. Like, look, that's enough.
No,
Enough
I remember
of
you
that.
telling me, you're like, hey, I'm on some pills that aren't on the market yet, right? And I was like,
Yeah.
I go, I don't even know where you get those. You're like, dude, I'm on these pills. I go, are you sure that's safe? I got this. 2 days later, Mayhem is in church with a fire extinguisher.
That's what I'm
naked.
saying, bro.
And
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I was like, maybe those weren't on the
know what I
market
mean? And
for a
that was
reason.
That was
At
the
least you
beginning.
got a fire
Yeah. That was the beginning of the end, bro. That was the beginning. That was the beginning. That was like the like.
Depending on how
that
you
was
look
the point. It was instead of like.
What were the pills?
Bro, I had this guy making them. Like, yeah.
Wait, you had him make them special? You
Yes.
like put a pinch
Yes.
of
Yeah.
Yeah.
you
like
make
that's
all
it.
the- all
That's
the-
where I was. in
Sprinkle
my-
some of that in there.
Yeah.
Bro, that's where I was. I was like,
And
change
egg,
the
Little
molecules.
egg
LSD, little
and cinnamon.
MDMA.
Bro, it was like a
little
gangster like
GHG.
setup. Yeah.
How did you have your own chemist? Like,
I don't know. Look, when
they're all
you're
over
mayhem,
LA, dude.
This kind of thing
When you're
comes to you.
how did you know what pills to put in there?
I didn't know. Yeah, I was just watching what he was doing, and I was like, you know what? Crank this up over here and crank that up, and let's try to see what this happens. Do some experiments on myself.
No.
Big mistake.
Now, are you living in that?
Big mistake, bro.
No, but then, like you would have that, but then your dog was trained. Like he'd be like, "Hey, stand up." He goes, the dog would be up. He goes, make it Uzi. The dog would like do a gun sign. I'm like, dude, like the discipline you had of your dog.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, if he could just
I miss
take that
my
It's
other
amazing
way.
what you can accomplish when you're up for 48 hours in a row. I mean,
48, man, 7 days.
But then
Jeez.
then your house,
Sleep
right? You had this
deprivation,
beautiful
bad
house in
news.
Orange County. I can only imagine your neighbors with the SWAT team incident.
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
but
when that shit happened,
See,
I was
like the church thing, that was the first look. Instead of like recognizing like the cops get me and going, okay, this dude needs some help. Instead, it was like a supervillain origin story because they threw me in the box, right? And since I wouldn't answer their questions, they threw me in like the mental ward of the jail, bro. Butt ass naked with they give you this weird like space suit that like has like worn out Velcro that you can't, and it's freezing fucking cold. And then all day for like 24 hours, this guy screaming next to me, crying. Like, and I'm like, dude, this guy
was it
won't
Matt
stop
Horwich?
Screaming. Yeah, right. And I'm like, man, and only to stop when I hear this big black cop screaming at this guy. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that'll
Shut
heal-
the
that'll
fuck
heal-
up.
some nice healing
Then
going
I
on
started,
there.
yeah.
Just
I'm
the
like,
fuck up.
how do you fix yourself? All I
You
needed
don't.
really was a blanket and some therapy and to go, yo, dude, here, you gotta stop doing this and figure your life out this way. I needed some guidance. And instead what I got was
Punishment.
torture.
Yeah,
and
punish.
trying to torture it out of me. Like,
Yeah.
stop doing this shit. We're gonna, and the guy was screaming in the cell next to me, and the guy cop came in and cussed him out for 30 minutes. You tell your fucking friends they're not bringing drugs in this facility anymore. Blah 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 blah. And now I'm like, want to kill the cop. And I'm
Right.
like,
Yeah.
so then I like took it very personally, and then I went to war with the police, which they still are fighting. Like they still are on my ass all the time. But me, I look. I hope they can forgive me. Yeah, I fought them. Yeah, I got the SWAT team out there. Yeah, I escaped them a couple times. Yeah, I judo through one, and my bad in Laguna Beach. I'm sorry, but and I know that's not going to go away.
But then also the
for a
SWAT
long
team, like,
time.
but now he gets to
but
say,
also
"I got
like it
judo
was like
thrown
on the
by
news.
Mayhem Miller."
It was on KTLA, the
Yeah.
SWAT team,
I
and then you were
remember
tweeting. Then you were tweeting. This is what black people have to go through every day.
Yeah.
And I was
no,
like,
I said, no, I didn't. You always paraphrase in the weirdest way, bro. You always take that shit and morph it into Adam Hunter language.
That's why he did okay in prison, though. Bro.
I'll tell you what, he learned the word paraphrase.
That's the best
This
thing
guy
you
is
can do.
bad.
You're about to get locked up. Go. Black people getting a bad habit these days. I feel that, and Mexicans is always you're gonna be famous for that shit.
Yeah. All right.
Not a bad idea.
I'll never forget.
Think about that.
I like bring Mayhem to meet the wrestling team. He makes a whole speech and like how great the kids are doing. And they're like, "I've never shaken my hand." Like 2 weeks later, fucking SWAT team.
Yeah.
I'm like the
It
parents.
was
like,
only 2 weeks.
No, of course not.
Exaggerating
I saw that
asshole.
shit.
Now
I saw that shit
we
myself.
go through it.
I saw that shit myself on Chibi, and I was like,
Yeah.
Somebody,
I was
somebody,
like, what are you gonna do?
somebody had a really funny thing though on like one of the chat boards. He goes, "I'm sure there's a perfectly good excuse of why he was naked and a fire extinguisher at a church. We just haven't heard it yet."
Bro, there's no excuse really. I'll tell you what it was. I didn't sleep for. They say you go to Valhalla if you don't sleep for 7 days. I made it like 7.5. And I thought I was at that pool party.
Yeah.
I thought I was at that pool party again. I was having a blast. I shot off the fire extinguisher, and then I woke up. Hearing the squelch of the radio, and I was like, wait a minute. And I look up. What
have I
this
done?
ain't my house.
What about?
I was like, this ain't my
My
house.
birthday or
Yeah, bro. That's what happens if you push yourself beyond the
sleep
limit.
deprivation is
the thing is, you were
I'm
always.
saying, I
you were,
was dreaming with my eyes open.
It'll
the thing is-
exactly.
Even
Your
with
brain
no
will do
drugs,
crazy
even with
things.
no drugs, I had a bout in my life in my 20s where I didn't sleep. I think for 2 weeks straight, not a wink. I mean, I was going through. So I was having like some shit was going on, but it was not drug related. And I remember my friend trying to talk to me, and it was like a abstract painting. His mouth, I was hallucinating because I couldn't
that's
sleep.
what happens. Your mind.
I thought I was never gonna sleep again.
malfunctions.
I was going. I thought I was lost my fucking.
The thing is,
mind.
you were always surrounded by like 7 guys that would laugh at everything you did, and
that's
you would say
always the
sometimes you would say some like,
Bro, listen,
And make
I
some
know.
special pills.
Look, all those classic things of like the pro athlete with his yes man and with the drinking problem and then going. I was like, that could never happen to me.
Yeah.
Why it was steadily happening to
Yeah.
me. I was like, suddenly I was that guy. I was like, oh my God, what the fuck did I do? And luckily now I got to move on from that, and I got to sit in a box for a year and think about it and go, wow, I really did it. You know what I mean? I lived that fucking rock star off the cliff lifestyle.
Anybody can fall into that too because it feels good.
But we like to
it's
demonize
easy.
everybody, and because I even did. But while it was happening to me, I was like, oh, these motherfuckers, what a scumbag, this guy, and you start throwing around a label at a guy, calling him a fucking drunk or drug addict, and everybody on the internet is like typing, and it was before I realized the default setting to internet is negative.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And none of us do
100%.
that. But
Absolutely.
now everybody's realizing that. We're realizing that.
Not everybody's realizing
because look, if I see something I like on the internet, I don't click like. I
course.
don't
You don't say
post a
nothing about it.
comment.
Yeah.
Hey, that
You
was
know what I mean?
fucking
I just
awesome,
go,
yeah.
haha, cool.
Yeah, you're
and
like,
I
oh,
move
I like
on
that. Yeah.
with my internet. You know what I'm saying? I move on with my internet, and but if you don't like something, you jump in the comment section. Let me bust it and post, and then you're just putting out. And then and this is 5 years ago. I really was taking everything everybody said super personal. Same problem with the cops. I took the cops doing their job as being very personal. Everything was personalized to me, and it was all, you know what I mean. And suddenly I came to this epiphany that the default setting to the internet is asshole. So you're just gonna have to just realize that going in and just catch the vibe of what you're doing. You like through your friends, because you can trust your friends, your real friends, to tell you the truth. And then the internet comment board, kiss my ass,
Right, yeah.
Just keep moving forward.
You got, especially if you're in a state of mind that's not good, you can't heed that shit. You can't heed good shit and you can't heed bad shit. You just stay the fuck away.
You probably had hundreds of Asian orgies, right?
What
did,
the
did,
fuck?
did those at
That's a
least
nice segue
did those
right
at
there.
least, did those at least
What
keep
are you talking about?
did that at least keep you warm at night, comfortable at night? All the Asian no.
You have a sick desperation.
Okay, all right. So
You're
anyway,
trying to make him to relapse.
you
piece
didn't
of
see his
shit.
party back in the day. When I went to that party at that club, and there was 37 Asian girls and him, and then he'd be like, "That's Queen Medusa" or something. He would they all had weird fucking names.
Her
and
name was Aquafina.
her name was Aqua. You know what I'm talking about, right? They all had fucking swords. Anyway,
She's is big now.
let's talk about
Aquafina, the actress rapper.
Didn't Aquafina just she was in Crazy Rich Asians, and she's in
Is that
some
the
new
one?
movie.
Yeah, she got her fucking
all right,
water and everything.
So let's talk about Carla Esparza's armbar.
I thought you broke
I
her
didn't see it.
elbow.
All right.
What happened? I heard about this.
I'll show you a video.
Yeah,
Nice.
at a certain point, I actually, for some reason, I don't mind somebody's eyebrow could be coming off or
yeah.
whatever, all the teeth knocked
Marvin
out.
Eastman.
I don't like to see joint stuffs.
Yeah, that was.
Well, because we've been there.
And
Something
she did
about
it.
it,
We've
I
been
just
there.
don't like
Well,
that.
what
You've been in a deep arm bar, and you're like, oh, I know what that feels
But
like.
blood, don't bother. I
Can't
don't
tell.
care.
That was Carla.
Maybe that's why they gave. Maybe they gave her the win because of that.
Yo,
you
let
know,
me
they're
tell
like,
you,
listen,
Carla
she survives
Esparza
that.
is a beast of a woman.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty. Did she did she punch her with that hand afterwards?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, she did.
She stood up and acted like it was totally.
Now,
fine.
how does someone not tap to that?
And then she said it was sore. They go, how is that thing? And she goes, it's pretty
Did
sore.
the other girl
or
not
whatever.
It
have
looked
the right
like it inverted.
Now,
It
did
looked
the
like
other
it straight
girl-
up inverted.
Did the other girl not have the correct technique?
No,
Is that-
She had it. She
I
just
was in there. I
she
mean,
just
it's
was like,
there.
look,
Bro.
I'm gonna
Listen,
Go
man,
out on my shit.
I was
had
yelling
a
at the
few
TV.
fights
I
where,
mean, yeah, let's
where the
talk to
guys
the-
ripped my damn knee off and I just like ignored it like that. You know what I mean? If you get hype enough and you're in the zone, you just can ignore
Well, the one
that.
fight with CB Dalloway, you ACL gave out, and you fought with one leg.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is just business. You know, when you're in the zone, especially, you can get through anything.
Well, and it's like either way that shit's ripped. So I might as well finish the next 5 minutes and get it taken care of.
A lot of
afterwards.
people don't have that.
Did you
Well,
win the
Yeah, I
fight or
mean,
no?
if you can,
She won,
if you
yeah.
have
Yeah,
the,
she
if you have
won
the
a
ability.
decision. That's the one that was booing and throwing shit at her.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
The crowd was throwing like ice cubes and bombs at her.
Perfect.
Now Ken Shamrock, who in the last couple,
no,
the
you
last
talking
couple
about-
years, Ken Shamrock, I've been a little bit suspicious with some of his antics. Like I thought that the fight with Kimbo Slice was a little bit that might have been fixed.
No.
Yes.
I refuse to believe.
And then the other.
I also fused.
And then the other fight he had with Hoist Gracie was a little strange, where he got like hitting the ball.
Look, you off base with this.
Okay, fine.
All of these.
Wait, he's
So-
always crazy again?
No. Well,
okay.
last week he put together bare-knuckle boxing. Ken Shamrock
But it was
presents.
called
Fight,
like
bare knuckle.
what was it called? It had a name.
Valor.
But it was a
Valor,
same-day tournament, so
bare-
you fight
yeah.
twice in the. Or if you keep winning, you fight the same. And then it was on like a wrestling mat. It looked like it wasn't even in a ring.
Yeah.
Gangster.
Yeah, it was some old school type shit.
It was pretty cool. I got to give Ken Shamrock credit because
Where was these fights? It was
Had to be in
They had-
Ohio.
Montana, Wyoming.
It was
North Dakota.
Wyoming. It was Wyoming.
Yeah.
Hell
And they
yeah.
had Mighty Mo. He remember
Mighty
that guy?
Mo. Mighty Mo knocked out. Mighty Mo beat Sokoju in the first round.
Bare knuckles.
Bare knuckles. And then
But hand wraps, right?
and then no hand wraps.
While you was inside, bare knuckle has.
Bro, I know. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I actually, everybody was telling me that in the
People
jail.
hit you up
He,
about
yeah,
it.
but when he heard about it, he was like, I can't wait to see this new porn. Bare knuckle. When I get out, I'm looking up this bare knuckle porn. This stuff sounds amazing.
No such luck.
And then Pat Miletich was the announcer. He did a good job.
Oh yeah, he's allowed to do that too. Aside from whatever the fuck else.
LFA.
Yeah.
Well, LFA is off Access TV now.
Why?
Because Mark Cuban sold his portion, and then now they're looking for a new place to air it. They still have it.
Interesting.
Yeah, but so then the finals, it was with James Wallhead won, right? Didn't he win?
I didn't even
No,
watch.
no.
Not James James. It was
The fucking big English dude got knocked out, right?
no, he won.
No, he got knocked out.
LeVar Johnson.
LeVar.
LeVar Johnson, who got out of jail, he won. He knocked somebody out.
He knocked out James McSweeney.
James McSweeney.
Yeah.
And then
was
and then
nasty,
Ishe
dude.
Smith did pretty good.
Wait, what is this place called? What is this fight's called?
Valor.
Valor.
Oh, Valor.
Valor.
All right.
Bare knuckle.
It's not the Premier League of the bare knuckle.
Yeah, what
At
is
least
the
not
premier
yet.
one? It's called
Bare
like,
knuckle.
I think
Bare
it's just
knuckle
called
fighting
bare knuckle.
championship,
All
I
right,
think.
all right.
Yeah.
BFC or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Has anybody approached you yet to do bare
Oh,
knuckle?
they will.
Really?
Yeah.
They will.
They already have?
Yeah.
He's prime
Doesn't seem like,
bare knuckle.
No, absolutely. Because you got
material.
the name value, you know. And you,
Oh, Mark Godbeer knocked out Jack May.
Yeah.
And then Mark
I'm
God
not
and
familiar with these two gentlemen.
then yeah, so
well, that's because you haven't been to the Best Buy in San Clemente.
James
Where they work when they're not fighting.
LeVar Johnson knocked out McSweeney.
Ooh, LeVar.
Yeah, and
that
then
wasn't-
Mighty Bo
kidding, by the
knocked
way,
out Sokoju.
Yeah. So could you?
I feel like I have
Man.
to say this everywhere, so people don't want to kill me now.
Well, when
can't
it's
make a joke.
LeVar Johnson.
Can't make a joke.
So what? So no, you could make as many jokes as
I
you
know.
want.
I'm just saying.
So let's
I
talk. Let's
I
talk.
laughed,
feel
Greg.
like
I
every
laughed.
joke I have to be like, I'm joking. I'm
Well, if it's
kidding.
about fighting,
Bro,
he's
that's the
gonna
new.
kick
Wait,
your
wait.
ass.
I want to ask you this. Like you and Hunter. Hey, are you guys like changing your act
No.
because
Fuck,
of the
you
day?
can't
No,
do that.
what
You
I am
can't do
changing
that.
though is what I'm putting out as like tweets.
Yeah.
Because you're like that. They're gonna use it against you.
I can't even tweet.
Everything
man.
gets
I can't
used
even
against you.
tweet
It's
anymore
unreal.
because I don't know what is the boundary. Remember, like,
Don't worry
if you
about too
look-
much.
I know, but if you look back at my tweets, bro,
You don't have to
sexist,
worry.
racist,
You don't have to worry.
homophobic, all
that
that.
ship has sailed for you.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
don't
Yeah,
have to
that's
worry
the
about
old you.
Yeah,
You're
you
not
paid
that
your- you paid
racist
your
No,
debt.
but I'm
anymore.
saying,
Dead.
man, I'm more racist now. but I hate white people, so you know it balances out. It's like legal.
They just hate for.
I hate everyone
Equally, yeah.
No,
They guilty until
No,
proven
white people
innocent.
more.
white people a little more.
So October 5th, Robert Whittaker is taking on Israel
Oh shit, that's coming out.
Adesanya. You know who that is?
Yeah.
This guy's style bender. He's like, they're calling him the next Anderson Silva.
Really?
He's from.
But he's got more of a.
Well, that's not this
he's got
weekend.
more of
Swag.
a.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I feel
He's got
like.
more
but it-
swag.
I mean,
This
Anderson
is a
had
bare
the
knuckle
swag,
fight.
but
No,
or-
it's UFC.
Yeah,
UFC.
He's fighting Robert Whittaker, who won the Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah, I remember that guy.
So that's the big one. Dan Hooker taking on Ally Akita.
I think that's a good fight
That's a
there.
banger.
That's true.
I got
that's
Dan Hooker.
junkyard dogs
I
there.
got Dan Hooker
yeah.
on that.
That's so. Those are the two big ones on that one. And then it got announced some other big ones. Joanna Jędrzejczyk's taking on the Karate Hottie.
Hey, listen, I'm glad she's back, man.
I think that's gonna be a nice one too.
I think so too.
That's the following week.
I think Jędrzejczyk kills her.
I don't
I
think
love
she
Joanna.
kills her. I think that she's gonna be the betting favorite, but I,
I mean,
don't
the
think she
Karate
kills her.
Hottie is. I
The
mean,
Karate
she's
Hottie
good,
in real life is
but she's
so
not
fun.
that
She-
good.
yeah, but at the same time too, she got that Greg Jackson. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that, they'll build a strategy
That game,
because
yeah.
even though if you're not as strong as your opponent, you can figure out a way to win, especially on the scorecard.
She keep getting better too. Like
You know?
every fight, she's getting better.
Yeah,
Even when she had
I've
a couple
never
step
seen
back.
a woman get like jump up in skill level as much as Michelle Watson.
Yeah, she
Like,
keep getting. She
I wouldn't count her out.
every
I
setback
don't
she
know.
ever has,
I
she
think
comes back
Jędrzejczyk's
better.
going to be hungry. I think she's going to be
No,
angry.
I'm-
And she's got those fists of fury.
Like
man.
I
love
said,
her.
she's gonna be a betting favorite. Like it's not like
Yeah.
she's not supposed to win, but I would not count Michelle out of that one.
Okay.
Yo,
well,
it-
you guys are the experts.
In the same way,
I'm
Holz-
obviously the
nobody
one
thought
that's the
Holz
idiot.
could beat
So,
her.
bro.
Nobody
I'm the
thought
one that can
Holz.
make these blanket remarks.
Yeah, I like to
I don't know
hear
what
you
I'm
yell
talking
about stuff you don't know about. It's fine.
We always need that. We always need that one.
But then also on that card is Damian Maia, Ben Askren.
That's interesting.
I mean,
I mean-
I'd rather see that at ADCC. You know what I mean? I don't
Right.
know. I don't know that I need to see that in the
Really?
UFC.
Don't you think that Maia would just kill him in ADCC and then now?
Well,
it's
what's
sort
gonna
of-
be different in there? They're gonna be throwing head kicks at each other. I mean, either it's gonna be 100%
Ben Askren's
grappling.
going to come out with a flying knee.
It's gonna go two ways: 100% grappling, which I could see at the grapplings, or it's gonna be an awful kickboxing match. Because
Or-
nobody wanted.
I don't think it will.
No, but I'm
be.
just saying. But
Yeah.
that's
No,
the
you
way
don't
it goes
think
with
that you-
More
you
likely,
don't
it's
think
going to
that
be a
it's
grappling
gonna be a
match.
grappling match,
A
yeah.
guard, like a guard pass, and then back to guard, and then
You
guard
don't think
pass,
Ben
and
could
back
like
to guard.
possibly take him down and just like ground and pound him?
Hell, I don't believe so. But
I don't think Ben's style is exactly like it doesn't match with Damien's. Like it's going to be more like in the guard and then out of the guard a little bit,
I
and then
don't-
back in the guard.
Yeah,
and that's
guard
going to
to
go
close
on
the half,
for a
close
while.
the half, close
and
the
then
half.
and then Damien's
Yeah.
going to get back to his feet and then get taken back down.
It's not
And
gonna
then
be a
maybe
fan-friendly.
later in the fight. I could see a submission coming out. Or it'll just be kind of sleepy. I think nobody does that style better than Ben. Like he's like just can squish you.
He needs
the whole
he needs a
time.
win in the UFC.
he certainly does. I don't think they.
Well,
do
they're
him any
giving him a
favors.
bad matchup on purpose again. Like they were just like, all right, fuck it.
They
There's
hate
another
him.
guy.
They hate him.
That's the business. That's how they do.
You know,
who
they say you pass the same people on the way up that you pass on the way down. It's rare you get to see two guys pass each other both on the way down.
Oh,
Well, it's a no-win. Yeah, they're both
Yeah,
trying to
isn't
get
that-
the
It's
loot.
kind of falling out.
Isn't that-
of
isn't that just
They're
Bellator in
both on
general?
their way- what's that?
Isn't that Bellator?
Well, that's where they land. They land in Bellator.
God.
And then they fall off that stage into PFL.
But
Speaking of Bellator,
And
Bellator.
into bare knuckle boxing.
No, not anymore Bellator, but back in it seems like their main event is like Roy Nelson versus Frank Mir, which two guys I love watching, but at this point, like what
Well,
are we
Bellator
doing?
is like Hollywood Squares. It's like you're either gonna do it on the way up or the way down. You don't do it when you're doing great. You know.
There are a couple guys out there, MVP.
Nice Hollywood square.
But I'm saying he got in there on his way
Surprising.
up.
They can
Yeah,
You know
only
what I'm
get-
saying?
Bergeron.
He didn't come in there as a star. You know, he got in there. He's on his way up. You know.
Also-
and then you get in there when you're also like, it's time to take a step down.
Also, what I think, as far as the UFC, that I kind of have an issue with this is that I get it, like it's cool that like they do the bad motherfucker, or the BMF fight. They're doing.
I heard about
So they're
this.
having
I mean, it
Nate
is what it
Diaz
is.
versus Masvidal.
it is what
Okay,
it
but
is.
they're making a bad motherfucker belt.
I know.
An actual belt
When I first
that
heard
says
it,
I
I
mean,
was upset.
it seems kind of weird.
I like
seems
it.
totally
I like
out of me too, but I think it seemed very out of character.
Yeah.
For I thought they were trying to be this like
legitimate
Like,
fighting
well,
it's
Right,
because the
now
Hawk.
it's suddenly-
I think it's because the Hawk is the one that came up with it, and he wants to do it. So I figure they're thinking like we
The
get
Rock?
we get the biggest star on the planet, and it just bring more eyeballs. I think that's the thing.
But he's right. Like they have like
the
uniforms.
Hawk is gonna put it on the winner.
But
he was the one who came up with.
But they have
idea.
uniforms, and then they have intro.
I understand.
Intros.
But I'm saying money.
But what's next?
Like at the end of the day,
yeah.
it's
But what's next?
entertainment,
But what's
though.
next? Like the nicest ass belt. I mean, we're just gonna fucking create belts
Please,
now. Like,
God.
Can we award that belt? I think that should be sponsored by MMA Roasted.
Let me
I think
see.
we
MMA
should
Roasted,
hand it out.
nicest ass
Not
belt.
us, you idiot.
okay.
The female.
But you kind of
who do you think
thick,
wins?
though.
Who do you think wins? And I think-
Listen, I'm part black. I do have a nice ass.
Hi.
Hey.
I think Sarah McMahon probably would win that. No.
She got a
Sarah
good
Morris.
One, but there's Sarah Morris.
Sarah
got a big
Morris.
fat ass that I
Holly
like.
Holm has got a
Holly Holm got a
She
beautiful.
does a
You
nice
sexist,
muscular ass.
objectifying women.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh come on.
We're not tweeting it. We're putting it in the
If women
podcast.
were like best
Put it out
body.
in the universe. I hear you.
But you're an ass guy. I know.
Oh, yeah.
You're more of a face guy or a
A little
boob
bit
guy?
more of a face guy, yeah.
Well, it's not that I don't like a face.
I like
I'm
them
just saying
all.
if
I like it all.
If the face, if I got a face, I like chitties too. But if
Adam's more of a dick guy.
yeah,
I love it. And he double times it.
Yeah.
And they were thick,
Well, the guy
too.
that was just in
he
jail.
was open-handed. They
The
were
guy
big
just
old
spent a year in
fucking
jail.
watermelon
Yeah,
cocks.
that's one.
Yeah, it's one
Did it-
giant.
Did any guys ever come on to you in jail? Was it like in the movies where?
I mean, I had to put my Mac down every once in a while.
okay. You had to do what you had to did.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
Hey, listen.
You heard him. You had to do what
gotta
you had to did.
If somebody got to suck some dick, it's not gonna be him. Basically.
You wouldn't. If you were in jail, you
Look, if I not I
everything in my
I've never been
power
in jail.
to not.
I've
I would
never
do
been in jail
everything
for
in
a
my
year.
power to
Okay.
not.
But like you were
I've
in
never
the-
been in jail for a year.
but the-
I'll put it to you this way. I'm
in the
gonna tell you.
favelas, yeah.
I'm gonna tell you. My philosophy is this though. If I got a life sentence or something, you better believe somebody's gonna be sucking some dick. I mean, I'm gonna get mine somehow. I'm not going my whole life without getting nothing just so I could be like, "Ma, I don't wanna, I hate gay or whatever.
Greg?
I'm gonna get something.
If I go to jail, I'm gonna always have to shit. I will
Just
never.
eating bean-
I would
extra
just,
beans?
Yes, I would just whatever. I would. They'd be like, "Do you need to go to the restroom?" I'm like, not yet. No,
Hey.
I do not. And I will save it. And then if anything comes up,
Oh,
I'm
you
just
think that
shitting
stops
everywhere.
these guys, man? I just
just
told
wanna-
you. These guys are animals. Yeah.
Now, was it open shitting like in the movies where you guys shit in front of everybody?
You think that's
They
not
had, yeah.
Well, there goes my plan.
Really?
Well, in your bunk. I mean,
just
in your.
Yeah, the toilet in the
Was you in a
cell.
thing or you
No,
in
no,
a
no,
It's just
Wow.
lube at that point.
You was in a dorm or
Now
you
that
was
you
in
put it in there,
a.
no.
I was like sectioned off. Like I was
So you ain't
in a
out one
high
guy.
security mod. Yeah, it's just me.
But just you?
Yeah.
Wait, isn't
So
that
you were in
bad?
isolation
I know.
No, but that's
Yeah.
depressing.
Yeah, I'll say.
the whole time.
Yeah.
My dad did various chiming places and stuff, and he said that the whole solitude. He said like the two worst things was solitude, like being by himself, like the solitary. Hilly was like he'll fucking bad, and he said that I was always wonder like what about the inmates and whatever because I always want to know how to
Yeah.
navigate or whatever. And he was like the inmates was my least of my worries. He said the cops, the guards, he's like the ones that fucked him up the most. And he said and being alone in that fucking box.
But that was in a Brazilian prison?
Yeah, wow. Brazilian, the Detroit and the New York of Brazil,
Wow.
which is different stuff.
Oh.
And he looked African American.
Meanwhile, I worked on Detroit. I worked on a cruise ship recently, right? And these
I know
Good
you're
segue, though. Good
Good segue again.
You have a
You're like the
marvelous-
master of
No,
segue.
it was.
You have a marvelous tan.
So
Consequently, your tan
I
looks
was on
great.
stage and I was talking about some girl's boobs, right? And she's like, this black girl was like, mine are real. So I was like, prove it.
She said it?
So she walked up to the stage and she's like, feel them, right? And the whole crowd's like, feel the tits. But I was like,
Feel those
I'm like,
tits?
I'm married.
They started a
Yeah, they
chant?
started a chant.
Well, you
right?
gotta feel them.
I didn't. I was like, I was
Ah,
on camera. I was
Like,
on-
what about like with your knee or like, you know what I mean, elbow?
I
With your
Or your
mouth.
penis.
But then afterwards,
rub your penis out.
afterwards, they told me they were from Detroit.
Over the
That's
pants.
where Detroit comes in. These two black girls, one was bigger, and she's like, you could feel my tits, but she was big. I was like, I'm married, but
It'd still be fun
I
to
was like, if I was
feel them.
single, I would fuck both. I would disappoint both of you, right? And then the girls were like, yeah, well, we're in relationships, but what happens at the sea stays at the sea. She's like,
Damn.
and one girl was like, I fucked two guys so far.
Okay.
Another girl the bigger girl was like, I just banged one guy, but he was like 3 minutes, which is probably longer than I be, and then she's like, and he had a really small penis, and I was like, hell no, but she still banged him.
Hey, it is what it is. You're gonna get.
But you
SSC.
can't actually. But though they'll throw you off the boat for banging.
Number one, yeah.
Number one, if you bang any passenger, they will throw you off at the next
For real?
stop.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
How
you just gotta
get?
You just gotta keep it on the high.
I knew a comic that actually, the black comic that had a white girl, and like they slept in his room. You have to have him a hoodie. There are places that get away with it, but it's weird.
It's a lot of work.
I would get
a lot
like
of
hand
subterfuge
jobs, like on
involved.
top of the ship, like overlooking the ocean.
On this
like,
last one?
No.
I'm kidding.
So then I was like, and I'm worried. I'm
The one right
Dude,
before.
I
best
remember
hand job
this
ever.
story.
And then
You told me-
there are like security cameras, and I'm worried it's gonna go to everyone's room, like watching me get like jerked off by this black chick. It looks like I'm being beat off by a ghost. You know?
The king of the world.
A lot of black girls take cruises, huh?
So that's a
gotta
carnival.
check this out.
Yeah,
All right.
big.
What are you trying to say? They can't afford Bahamas.
They only take
Princess
Carnival
Cruise.
cruise. Ain't no Disney cruise for the big
Doug
black.
Williams calls it the Section 8 cruise. He says that.
If you've been on that
That's
shit,
racist.
if you've been on that shit, you know that's true.
So then like.
Well, especially if you see the fight videos.
Oh God.
So then so there are places that so anyway, this black comic woke up. He missed the-embarkation, so they were looking for him. They had the dogs out. They thought there was like a missing person. So they go into his room, the cops, and he has the girl in his closet, right? And then he's like, I don't know, no one's in here. They open it up. There's like a naked white girl, and he's like, how'd she get in there?
I guess he got fired.
Yeah, he
huh?
got fired.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, he's like, this.
I can't believe it.
Immediately.
The comics aren't allowed to bang passengers.
No, you can
What's
bang
the point?
people that work on the ship. They'll actually give
But
out
you
condoms.
can't.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
a passenger, you can't.
No, you can't.
You know what that's
can't
like?
fuck
That
civilians?
movie
No,
Dirty Dancing or whatever.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
wasn't
Right.
allowed.
And they're the ones that want to bang the most.
Right? That's what
They're the
I
ones
mean.
that
You
came
give
to the
them a
comedy
back
show.
alley abortion like they did to that one. I mean, don't do that. I don't condone that.
Yeah, no. So
But
that
you're
was-
on the sea.
It was
so,
from the
you know,
movie.
Maritime law.
Right,
You-
exactly.
yeah.
12 miles out,
You
get the
could-
coat
One of those
hanger.
old things they used to use to stoke a fire. That large. You just get that in there, and you get that out, and then you send it out.
Have you ever got a girl pregnant, Greg?
Sure.
Well,
How many times?
Once or twice. One for sure.
Yeah.
Well, because we had.
So the twice you don't know what happened. Is the second one
The
is
other
just
one
like
was like, listen, yeah,
could be a little Greg
I'll
running
be back in a year. Let me know what's up.
she died at sea. Bon,
Yeah, exactly.
bon voyage.
We used the big.
That's like
Things
throwing
have
mama
taken
from
a
the
darker
train.
turn.
Wait, how many times have you gotten a girl pregnant?
Just once. And
And it was a beautiful baby delivered
no,
by God.
I had twice.
So now twice the one you kept.
including my kid. Well, three. We had miscarriage, so 3 times. But
hi.
no, it's true. No, but the first time though, it was a girl from New York. It was like a stripper from New York.
Oh, yeah.
That I was giving out flyers.
A
in the
black
street.
stripper?
No, she was white from like Missouri, and I was giving out flyers. And
disappointing.
then I had gotten back with my girlfriend at the time.
Nice.
And we're back. We were on like a break. It
This
was
is
just-
classic
I like
Adam
the
Hunter.
break.
Right?
Classic.
This is the Adam Hunter.
He's
I
the
grew
real
up
life
with.
Raw.
So then she calls me up and she's like, "Hey, I want to come visit you." And I was like, "Oh, I booked a soap opera job. I lied, right?" And I was like, "So you can't?" She's like, "Well, I'm pregnant and you're the father." And I was like, "All right, well, you're coming soon." So she came and went to Planned Parenthood. But then my girlfriend.
Directly from the airport.
Yeah, pretty much. But then my girlfriend at the time, I like told her what happened, and she couldn't believe it. She's like, "But we were on a break." And she was like, so then
I don't know what the fuck was
can't
wrong
believe
with her. She couldn't move.
back then, like Planned Parenthood was like a 9-hour procedure. It wasn't like they really upgraded it.
I don't
So then-
want to get into the
So I went and saw like
intricacy
a
of
movie because I was gonna stay there for 9 hours. I saw Quills, and
Wait,
Guys, you kept
so
it
you
classy.
let-
You kept
so
it
you-
classy.
Wills is
Wait,
your
wait, so
abortion.
Oh yeah.
You let her do that while you watch a thing about Marquis de Sade? You're like, oh yeah, that's hot or whatever.
No, he's
Meanwhile,
watching it.
she's in
He's
the-
watching it going, see, I could have been worse to her.
I fell asleep. It was,
You wanted
it was
to
the
ensure
only
that
thing,
you go to hell.
It was the only thing playing at the Village at the time. It was down in the Village, and
It was a fitting punishment.
You got an abortion down in the village?
Yeah. So then I got back at my girlfriend, and then she like forgave me. So then I was questioning.
Did you cry?
I was questioning her judgment. You know, like
Did you cry like to make her feel bad
I
for
felt
you?
really bad about the whole thing.
No, but I'm just saying. But you know you cried, and then she
No, I
consoled
didn't
you.
cry, but then I was like, I don't know if I think I might have paid for someone else's abortion because the girl was like telling me that like she was still pregnant with twins, but only one of the fetuses died, and then that one died too.
Okay, let's.
You know, when
what?
we were- wait a minute.
Classic stripper
When we
move.
were on that,
Oh,
when we
change
were on
the
that,
subject.
remember we were on that Vivid Video comedy tour with
Yeah.
the girls from Vivid Video?
Yeah.
So I'm out having breakfast with one of them.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call or I got a text message, something from the girl I was seeing back in LA, and she was like, guess who's gonna be a dad? And I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I swear to God, the porno girl goes, wow, you look like you just got a message telling you were a father.
Wow.
And I was like, you've seen this face before.
Porn stars are known for their intuitiveness.
She really knew. She picked
true.
it right up.
She's probably sent that message
I
a
was
couple
going to say
times.
exactly.
Yeah.
I've made this face happen on a lot of guys' faces.
So is Khabib fighting fucking
Ferguson?
Yeah.
God,
That's
allegedly.
the fight. That's the fight. How
He's
Habibi.
fighting Kirk. Who? Kirk Franklin?
do you mind? This is an
Habibi.
abortion
No,
podcast.
No, but you said
This is
Kirk
not-
first. Is he fighting
Ferguson?
Kirk?
Kurt Ferguson.
Ferguson.
Kurt Ferguson.
Yeah.
Have you ever trained with Ferguson?
Nah, I haven't gotten a chance.
He's a bad boy.
Who's the
He's a
best guy you ever trained with? Was it Anderson Silva?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's some
Cormier, right?
there's been oh yeah, Cormier threw me ass over. Like he back in the day, he didn't really know how to box, and like I was kind of lighting him up, but then he like clenched up with me, threw me ass over tea kettle long enough for me to go wee. Yeah. Like you know, it's one of those. Oh, sorry, one of those rainbows
Where it's slow motion. You're
Yeah,
like,
no,
oh,
like I literally had time to go wee. Yeah.
He impressed me
Yeah.
for the size of him. I mean,
Yeah.
like if you put them together,
Yeah.
you'd be like, look, he would look small for sure.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, he's just like this very dense.
But you know
guy.
what I'm saying? Like,
You know
you
what I
don't
mean?
look
And-
intimidating, and then you see the shit that he does
Bah,
to
he's
people.
an
It's
amazing
insane.
athlete. Yeah, he's
it's
amazing.
crazy.
Yeah.
And then you gave War Machine his nickname, right?
Sort of, yeah. So I was like breaking his balls. Like I was kind of like, haha, War Machine, because he had all that robot shit tattooed on him. And
And then it stuck.
yeah,
Oh,
it did.
God.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Who gave you the Mayhem nickname? I never even knew.
Phil Baroni.
Gave you Mayhem?
Mahoney?
He nailed it.
Yeah, he did.
Fucking nailed it.
He's like, this guy's fucking mayhem. Haha, look at him, he's fucking mayhem. And then after that, I I Yeah.
Wow.
When I was like
Of all
22.
What if he would have called you Kindness? Your whole life would be
You know
different.
what?
Yeah, or
it might have been.
Or Peachtree.
It might, it might have totally spun me off in a different direction.
Can you
but-
imagine?
Yeah.
Dude, so then another show I did recently. So my wife, I've only seen her dad once in his life. He was not a good guy. But now he's
Wait.
trying to get back in her life.
This is on the crew.
wifey?
My wife, yeah.
I thought I met the guy, no?
No. So I'm doing a show in Edmonton, and she's like my dad, but we know his son. He's a half brother. He like stays with us. He's a nice kid. So she's like, my dad's coming to your comedy show.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. So I thought about it and just forgot about it. Right. So then I'm on stage, and there's an older couple, and I'm like ripping them. I'm
God.
I was like, I'll do some jokes for you, B34. I'm like calling them like incest, the whole thing, right? So then I was like, what brought you to the show? And then they're like, whoa. The lady was like, that's your wife's father, right? And then I was like,
Did the crowd just fucking...
dying laughing. And I was like, well, I never met him before. And then everyone starts clapping. I'm like, don't clap. She only met him once, right? And then
You should have been like, I've already spent more time with him than she had.
Oh, God, see? You missed your opportunity.
so then I was like, I feel bad. Fuck it. He didn't get us a wedding gift, right? So then everyone laughed. And at the end, he came up to me and like, he was with his sister who gave us a wedding gift. I think she felt bad.
Yeah.
So she gave us some money.
She bought,
Yeah, but
she
you're
bought a drink at the bar and was
You're
like,
a professional
here.
comedian. Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
What do you need with
So what
money?
did he say?
Nobody can be
What was
mad.
the exchange like between you and
He
him?
came up to me and was like, he was like, thanks for taking care of my son.
First of all.
When he came to New York.
My
When he came to
son?
LA.
Oh, okay,
You're married
right.
to a man?
You're
No.
married to
What do you mean?
No, her brother,
oh,
right?
half brother.
But
that
and then he
came
was
to-
like, it must be hard being a comic. And I was like, well, not as hard as not seeing your daughter, you know? And then he was like, I didn't say that, but that's what I wanted
Well, was
to
he
say.
a deadbeat? Well, like, what the fuck was wrong with
Yeah,
that?
it sounds
I
like
think
it.
he cheated on the mother before she was born while she was pregnant.
He did something
And
like
then,
that? Who would do that?
So I think it was just, it got
Just
ugly.
bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, like, well, I mean, it depends on what the relationship. It depends on what the relationship's like. I mean, maybe you didn't expect to get her pregnant. You don't know.
So and then I think that she was just like, I don't know, like they're very nice. My wife and her mom is like the nicest people. So
Yeah.
like she was not having that and didn't want to be around it. But and then he like never reached out and then like so it was the whole thing. And then he
Yeah,
was,
but look, man, you're only catching the wife's mom's side of the story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What if,
Yeah, I didn't hitch out to a lot of my kids and a lot of that one, but look
Yeah.
look
But
at me
you-
now.
look at you now.
Yeah.
It seemed like
Yeah,
you're doing
you
pretty
seem
well.
bad.
You're doing great. You affected
You're
me.
doing great, yeah.
It doesn't upset you to not know that your kids out there.
There's a lot of people I don't know.
But they didn't come.
How can I know everybody?
They didn't come from your sperm. though.
yeah, you only made
Not true.
a couple of them.
Yeah.
How many kids you think you got out there that you don't know?
I don't know. I don't want to speculate on something like that.
Right? You just drop loads and leave.
Yeah.
No, Mayhem, do you, no, you see that.
So you really went to the sunken place.
Now, Mayhem, you're a good, you seem like a good, I've seen you work with
good
kids.
daddy?
You seem you work with kids. You're a very good coach, except for the time you made the kid hold the chair above his head for 3 hours.
It wasn't 3 hours, but yeah.
And then Rampage said you couldn't co-steer anymore.
Did he?
I
don't even remember that.
That's a stress position, no? Yeah.
So
He's just trying to.
Good. It's discipline.
But you seem like you're good. Do you want to have kids one day or no?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think it would be great.
You throw the ball around and stuff?
Yeah.
Can you-
have a catch? I don't know.
In like the wheat field or whatever. It's like, boy. See, when I was your, like in the beginning of the natural.
Listen, the Miller family, we don't do that. Yeah.
I feel like his kid can never.
It's like from
I feel like his
Canada,
kid can never get in trouble. The kid could be like, what if his kid can do that can match what he did?
Yeah, he might bail and just be a nice.
Don't judge me.
No, but I think are you looking to start a family one day?
I mean, come on. What am I gonna do? What you got? Are you trying to fix me up with someone?
Sure,
or
why not?
Do I got a sperm donor location?
I think
to
a
drop
lot
it off at?
of times,
now,
how many women have we know that are always like, I could fix him?
Oh my god! It's everyone I ever date. That's for
I'm sure that.
You mean everyone that exists?
It's a unique,
That's just how they are.
unique
All of them?
fixer-upper opportunity.
And all these women watch these home improvement shows. They think they can do it to a man. Yeah, it's something in our culture that like.
I'll
that's
flip
what
him.
it
I'll
is.
flip
It's a
him.
challenge.
Yeah.
It's a
And then they're
challenge.
like, I don't know, he doesn't spark joy
Did I
anymore.
tell you what happened? So like, when he was like in his thing, right? So I'm at the Laugh Factory, and there's a drag queen named Mayhem Miller, right? And
No.
So I thought it said Mayhem Miller performing. So I'm like, oh, he's back at the comedy. He must be doing great. So I call him up, like, hey, you want to open for me? And like, cause I go. He shows up. He's like, "Thanks, man." And because it was a drag queen named Mayhem Miller that was performing.
You thought it was me on the phone?
Yeah, no, I thought that you were the person.
What
in
does a drag queen sound like?
No,
God
I thought that
damn.
was you in the flyer.
Like you.
why he-
A lot like you.
That's why he-
No, I looked at the flyer and go, "Oh, you're back into comedy. Hey, I was proud of you. Come do the show."
That's why
this
he got
Tuesday."
you the gig,
That's why I
because
got
he.
you the-
You didn't give me shit.
No, you came to the dime bar, right?
Yeah.
And then like you wouldn't get off stage, and then I'm with Jason.
How you
Ellis.
gonna force him to get off
And then
stage?
Exactly.
And then Jason Ellis, I go, hey man, can you get him off?
It's like, I'm
Jason-
not fucking going anywhere
goes-
near that guy.
He goes, I train. I go, yeah, that's why. He goes, I train enough to know that I'm not getting him.
I know, yeah. When you're on stage, it's like, it's weird. I don't know how you guys ever like get off. Like, you got the high ground. You can
Hey,
just push kick everybody out
that's
the
like
fucking way.
that's like what happened to me.
At the MMA awards. So like, so he goes, and people were like, 2, wrap it up. And he goes, oh, peace.
But this was on TV. This was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a big event.
Yeah.
But I got drunk with power because I was killing. No?
Yeah,
I was
you
killing.
do it very well.
And I didn't know how it was gonna go. It could have died.
I know.
And then it
Once
was going
it's
good, and
going
people was
good,
like going. I'm
exactly.
like, zing, zap, zap.
When you said
and then
that-
they're like,
When you
it's
said
time,
that
it's time.
Tyron Woodley bit Johnny Hendricks because he thought his hand was full of barbecue sauce.
Well, no, he
That's a good one.
I said
That's a good
that.
one.
No, because it's true.
Yeah.
You
It's
never
funny
knew about
because it's
that
true.
because what's his name? Johnny Hendricks. They had a they
Wrestling
had a
match.
thing.
Wrestling
Supposedly Tyron bit him in a wrestling match, and they put it all on Chyhan. And I said that in the backstage he put a little bit of barbecue sauce on there because he knew the black guy is not gonna resist the sweet the molasses and also some of the hickory properties in there.
You're wandering into Hase's territory right
The
now.
black
don't know
guy
how-
can't
Sweet
resist
baby Hayes.
the hickory property.
No, I'm on the side of the
You
black
put
guy.
watermelon in his short.
No, that's
Oh,
too far.
there it is. Hey, here we go.
Now you went too far.
Oh, God.
Jesus. But,
Can you blur my
but
face
this
out
is true
from this
though.
episode?
This was true that happened.
Yeah, that was really
But anyway,
funny.
and then they was trying to get up, and I maybe I didn't took it serious enough because they wasn't too happy about that at the afterward. And then they had to got Uriah to physically to
Uriah Faber?
Yeah, they brought him and sent him to tell me to.
So who do you think? By the way, who do you think wins, Nate Diaz or Masvidal?
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. Yeah.
How can you call that one? It could go so
Masvidal
many.
got the hype going on right now, and like
Yeah.
he didn't have, that the Askren fight didn't take much out of him. You know what I mean? He's healthy right now.
It sure did.
But can't you see it
But I
going
can
both
see-
ways? Couldn't you see it go
Definitely,
one way where?
definitely. Oh, I can see. Look, to me, Diaz is like it seems physically bigger.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure, without
in the
question.
and it's one of those fights where I think long term, and Diaz is remarkably
Durable.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think that Diaz can pull the. I think I can see him win in a number of ways. Masvidal, I think he's explosive, quick, he's smaller and like faster.
Yeah,
for
faster
sure.
for sure.
But
More
I think
angles and
Diaz
shit.
can control the distance.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Maybe if he gets taken down, work his guard and sneak around to the back. I think Diaz has a lot more advantages. I think so overall. But like I said, the Masvidal is so explosive, such a quick dude. So I'm leaning. If I'm Vegas, I'm giving the edge to Diaz. But Masvidal has got the hype right now. Actually, if I'm Vegas, I do it backwards. I like pretend I'm sure Masvidal is gonna win.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Give him the odds.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
Yeah,
probably
it-
what
See what
it'll be,
happens.
in all honesty, though, because Masvidal has the hype around him right now.
that's what I'm saying.
Right now,
And the
so
normal average
that money's
everyday
going to be
person,
coming in on him anyway.
They don't
But
realize.
Nate
that
has
there's
so much evidence of being the spoiler
Oh, yeah.
in
Oh.
every time they put him in this situation.
What's the weight for this one?
70.
Okay, now I'm really all in.
Do you
on
know what
that
I'm
one.
saying? But then having said that, you never know what the fuck, with this shit. I don't know,
It's the beauty of the sport. It's
what's
it's
his
hard
name?
to
Like
pin it
Benson
down.
Henderson. Like, man,
Henson's
remember when
fighting
they
this
fought?
week,
No,
by
I'm
the way.
saying when they fought,
yeah.
it was like, would you have thought that he was gonna do the
Beat
stuff
the
he did?
shit out of
But
him?
I can't fucking chow.
So
It's
Colby
tough.
Covington, I don't know if you're following him.
Listen, I've been locked up for.
All right, so Colby Covington.
You know who that is,
Like
though?
you gotta educate.
Okay,
me.
fill in the
I
blanks,
watched the
fill in the
Masvidal
blanks.
stuff.
All right.
I don't even know who this
So
is.
this guy Colby Covington, he's a guy that
I love
he was
that,
always
by
a
the
good
way.
fighter, right? He was a good fighter, but then he started taking on this persona of he's the Trump guy, make
Nice.
America great
Like
again.
almost like a WWE. Like he wears the
Fucking
hat.
heel,
Hey, I
man.
don't know.
yeah.
Look, I hit the streets and I noticed that's what bad motherfucker belt. Come on,
Yeah, yeah.
like
So-
I hit the streets
yeah,
and I'm
yeah.
living
Yeah.
in the
It's
WWE
basically-
world
yeah, yeah,
now.
yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
it is now.
So Chael Sonnen, right? Basically, he kind of took
coached them how to do this?
kind of took what Chael did,
Yeah.
and Brazilians are all filthy animals, and keep immigrants out of the country to the point where but he's been winning. He's like 12-1 or something. He's a really good wrestler, and he beat Robbie Lawler last fight. I mean, lit him up.
Okay, I heard about this.
And then he also beat Kim before that. Then he beat Maya. He's been winning, right?
Yeah.
But he's been
Sounds
alienating
like he's
himself.
fighting only women. He beats Kim. He beats Maya.
Yeah.
He's been alienating himself. So at an American Top Team, and he's one of these dudes that makes.
Alienating himself from who though?
Well,
because
but-
I think a lot of Trumpers
They like him, right?
They watch the
But
fight.
and then he makes these
True.
videos of him and
Listen,
these
if
porn
he-
stars,
true.
him and porn stars, and he's like picking bets, and he's like, I banged 9 of them last night.
Half the people
But
love him. Half the people hate him.
He got invited to the White House. He actually met with Trump, right?
Why?
But
'Cause of porn stars?
No, because
Oh.
he's a
Two
big Trump
sons
guy.
Because
came to
he's,
his last
'cause he's
fight.
like the guy
two
that-
sons were at his last fight.
Yeah.
So,
They were
but now
in the
he's at
front row,
odds and
which-
ends with the
yeah,
UFC because he's like, they gave him an interim belt, but then they offered him to fight Kamaru Usman, who's a champion, who beat Woodley for the belt, but he's like, I don't like the money they're giving me. They didn't give me champ money. I'm not doing it. He kind of turned down the fight, then turned down Woodley fight because he's like, fuck
which
that.
is his right.
So-
you know what I mean? Look, you got a limited time as a fighter to make it.
But
go
how do you
ahead,
don't
go
But
fight
he's
ahead.
also,
I wanna
but he's
hear
also
the
been
rest of the
picking.
story.
He's also been picking against his teammates at American Top Team. Like in his betting thing, he's like Dustin Poirier couldn't stuff his nose if he had a cold. Like he has these like things, and then American Top Team, him and Masvidal were best friends. Now he's like, oh, it's for the journeyman title instead of the bad motherfucker. He's like the 2 journeymen. So now Poirier says, I'm going to fight him on site at American Top Team. They're keeping him away, I guess, from everybody at his own gym.
Yeah.
But you think that's going to hurt him to not have these training partners?
Absolutely. I mean, it's hard to put together a training camp with no good fighters.
Well, and
You know
also
what I mean?
you have to wonder if they're
pissed
in on
everybody
it.
off.
But there will be places that
But
would
he's-
embrace him, though, true.
But he's managed by Dan Lambert, supposedly, who owns ATT. So he has an invested interest, or I guess he just left him. He's one of these guys. He says
left him.
Well, he's still working
Where
with
he
them.
went-
or
where he
something.
went to?
He has a new management company that's been repping him now. So it's some big management company, and like, but he's one of these dude that like.
I got WWE manager.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart, but
The slickster.
But he's also, I mean, he's a great fighter.
Yeah.
But you know, it's one of those things where people were like, just win the belt, then talk to shit, because then you kind of control the cards versus being the interim champion and you don't have the cards.
But, you know, if they don't give him the money to fight, you know, Usman's a freaking beast. Like, you know what I mean? You want to get paid for that one. You know, it could be a long night.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So,
and he just talks shit about Usman.
And on
like
top
he
of
ain't
that,
shit.
like,
You don't think maybe they're in on it though? You don't think maybe he's like, listen, guys, this is just what I'm doing. This is gonna be my
No,
strategy.
Usman and them, they hate him. They got into a fight at the Palms in the buffet line. It was.
You know what?
Straight up.
Why
That's
ruin
where I
a
wanna get in a
perfectly
fight.
good buffet?
I want to get in a fight over some fucking mashed potatoes.
Take that shit to the fountain.
But he calls.
Rather than being in the
But he
cage
calls
and getting
Ali-
paid
So
for
that
it,
from
right?
the past year, they got that shit.
But he calls him Ali Abdullah Sneeze, like his manager,
Sneeze.
and then he calls him
That's who
Snoozman.
manages
Snoozman.
Usman?
Yeah.
Snoozman or whatever they call him.
Yeah. Ali is banished a lot of
here
these
we go.
people.
Usman's
Okay.
a scary individual.
Now, who do you think wins that fight, Colby or Usman?
I'll take Usman in that one.
Really?
For me, for my
But
mind.
Colby's a guy that his cardio is relentless. Like he has one of those dudes that just, you know, at 10 the entire fight, never gets tired. So
Yeah,
I don't think he don't got a chance.
His 10, I mean, you know, granted, I haven't seen him fight. You know, his 10 and Usman's 10 is.
they've been
probably
going at it
little
for
different.
a long time because Usman's a black zillion. He's
Yeah.
at ATT. This is
He's also a black
That's
person.
good. Rivalries are good. Look, and it sounds like this Covington guy has really like figured out his audience and really like knows how to catch that hype. And you know, if you're gonna be catching a hype train, you want to get paid.
Here's why you're gonna know him.
He's created his own audience. It sounds like he's created like his own viral marketing.
Did you get paid
campaign
more as a fighter or outside the cage?
outside the cage? Yeah, because you know.
But you know why
UFC.
you're gonna know him? You know the guy that fucking Verdum threw a fucking boomerang at?
Yeah, that was the guy.
That's him.
Yeah.
That's the
I
kid.
wasn't out for that one.
Yeah,
either.
they were in
You
Australia.
what? That was. I thought that was like 3
you were
years
out
ago.
back then. You were
I
out.
was out.
Yeah, you were out then. I mean,
You
maybe,
were, no, but
He
you
hit
were
him
like
in Australia.
I wasn't really out.
Off the planet.
I was in my own prison.
Okay,
back
so
then.
he had like a souvenir because they was in Australia.
Yeah.
He had a souvenir boomerang in like a bag.
Yeah.
And then like the homeboy was talking shit or whatever, and he just hit him with the fucking boomerang.
Verdum.
yeah, and then Kobe,
Verdum hit a guy with a boomerang.
And then-
This guy,
And
and
then
then
Kobe-
this guy called the cops. I think.
and then
on
Kobe
him, huh?
sued him. Yeah.
Sued him.
But then it didn't. It was like, and then I don't know if you follow
Man, I
BJ.
got stabbed. I didn't even call the cops.
I don't know if you follow BJ Penn got into a fight
don't-
outside of a strip
I
club.
heard he got like, I saw it. It
Well,
got dropped, and
then he came back and
then
won.
He came back and beat the
But
guy.
now he's out of the UFC.
Well,
Or
you know.
he's out.
I mean, are you surprised? I mean, you know what? He need one of those wake up. He need one of
Yeah.
those interventions.
Yeah.
I think he probably. I don't know the situation, but I would probably guess he's got a lot of like, hey, DJ,
Oh, yeah.
let's go drink and
absolutely.
da-da-da-da, you know?
He's surrounded by yes men.
Yeah, you can't have that.
And Rashad
Well, yeah,
Evans.
a whole island
Word
of
is
them.
Rashad
Yeah.
Evans. Rashad Evans.
or haters who want to test him.
Word is that Rashad asked for his release from the UFC officially and is now going back into fighting. Which is
What do you mean? He's gonna get released and go?
because I guess he
bare-knuckle
would
brawl?
Bellator,
yeah,
probably.
Bellator or
Bellator.
ONE FC or I don't know. I don't.
Well,
wanna
but
say
he
it.
was, that's unfortunate because he was also a commentator.
Yeah, I don't
he was
know why
a big
he's doing
personality
that.
for
I
them.
love Rashad.
What you said it like it was like you have a dog in the fight though. You said this is unfortunate.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
a nice
because
guy.
you know what?
No,
Because
I
it's not
know.
like because it's not like he's one of those guys just sitting around waiting for a fight and gets frustrated. It's like, let me go so I can
know.
go fight. He's one of those guys that's pretty much already had the majority of his career
True.
and has transitioned nicely into
what's
being
it
a
to you?
commentator
What's it to
at
you?
the
He's not
highest
Marv
level.
Albert, okay?
You know?
He's not
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not biting.
I can't
He's not
believe
biting
Marv-
women and like throwing a toupee. You're right.
Hey, look.
Now, I gotta ask you, the time
She
that
was
he missed
into
weight by 27 pounds, right? So
Wait, what?
Another nice.
he missed
segue.
weight by 27 pounds.
It was
one time.
29. yeah.
29. So
Excuse me.
That's
Did they let-
impressive.
I was
man.
way
Did
off.
they let it go though?
no, here's what happened. He goes, steps on the scale. It says 29 pounds over. He then takes off his shorts.
That's right. That was one of
Oh,
your great
man.
moves.
And I had another bit
That was
too.
one of your great
I had
moves,
another
man.
bit too where I was gonna take off those, but they were like pissed and like rushed me off the stage. I was just like,
It was for
fuck you,
Venator.
you know?
It was in Italy. They flew him to Italy. Now, you said...
I remember that.
Hey,
That was
because my
a
contract
Mayhem
said-
classic.
My contract said that I could be overweight And so I just didn't even cut weight.
It said you could be overweight.
He said I would
they
have to
probably
pay
meant, like,
15% of
Oh, it
something.
didn't say
I was
how
like,
much.
fuck
So
it,
you
it's-
gotta try.
it's worth it. Yeah, I was like,
Oh,
it's
it didn't
worth
say
it.
how much weight.
It didn't say how much.
They
and
meant
were
like
pissed.
3 pounds.
And then
or
but it
whatever.
fucked me because I ended up having to fight like a way tougher dude.
Yeah, a different weight class.
Oh, but you're still
Yeah.
under the fight.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no, but then in the,
at
but then in
205.
the
I had
fight,
to make
in
205,
the fight,
yeah.
he actually won the first round, then got tired because he didn't train. But his
No,
corner,
they kept me starved and dying
Was it
for
an
like
Italian
an
man?
extra 12 hours.
But his corner
I
was-
should have never done this.
his corner was Matt Harwich, and he's reading the.
Are you for Hill?
No, and Matt
Are you
is
serious?
Yeah, and he's reading the Bible
Horwitz.
during the
I
fight.
took Horwitz with me.
He's in the corner reading the Bible.
He's reading the Bible. Bless his heart. Bless,
My man,
bless him.
this
Lord
could be a
Jesus.
movie. You know how they did about the Humble in the Jungle, like Ali?
Yeah, I know.
This could be a movie, just that experience. You have
I
hit
know.
this fucking guy by himself, this whole situation.
Yeah.
You put Horwich in the corner?
And then my other buddy Wingo was out there with me. They were sharing a hotel room. Matt Horwitz wasn't taking a shower, so they were bickering the whole night, like yelling at me, like, "Man, can you tell Horwitz to take a shower?" And I was like, well, "It can't be that bad." I opened the door.
It's like B.O. or
Smelled
whatever.
like
Yeah.
onion bunch. Like,
no, but
then at the end of the first round, I was gonna go for like an arm bar or some crazy shit, and I look up in my corner and say, "How much time we got?" And the corner goes, "What?" And I'm like, "What else would I be asking?
Yeah,
Like,
and what else is
kind
their
of
job
pants
at
are
this
those?"
point?
Yeah. What?
And what else is their job at this point? Like, besides...
Well, I'll tell you, Horowitz' job was to read the Bible. And
the Lord is my shepherd.
I had to get my own,
shall not want.
I had to get my own water. I was like, man, this is
Yeah.
Well, that
you know what?
explains the smell of the onions.
Because he was
thought you were
drinking-
filled with demons.
He was
and he was
drinking
like,
the
I got to
water.
protect myself from
one of
this
my
guy.
favorite
I wear
garlic and
onions.
shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, what about the quote? You ever seen when he won that fucking fight? Speaking of water,
Yeah.
and then Karen Bryan goes, "You're incredibly. This is amazing. You must
you
feel
gonna do?
amazing. What are you gonna do next?
Well-
I'm gonna drink some water."
Yeah.
He
I
beat
love
Talos
that guy.
Lakers.
We gotta get. Did I ever tell you the time that I defeated Talos Leches?
Talos latest
Yeah.
with the jujitsu, and I was a joke.
Dude, my
You
favorite.
gotta get him on the show.
I would
man.
love
He's
to.
great.
He's-
I'll
and he's a
get him for
sweetheart,
you.
too.
I'll get him for
He's-
you.
One of my
I
favorite
haven't seen
mayhem
him in a
stories,
while.
Yeah.
He's fighting in Dream or Pride.
Yeah.
And he asked the guys, "Hey, I want 20 Japanese girls dressed up as schoolgirls when I come out, right?"
That's easy for Japan.
They give him actual schoolgirls. The girls are all like 14 years old. And then-
No, good.
So he comes out.
Only in Japan.
And then he said, "Your corner was like, I think that one girl's kind of cute." And he's like,
Bro, no, I think she's cute. He was like backing on her, like, yeah, girl. And I was like,
Dude, no bueno.
But I think maybe that's legal in Japan. I don't know.
"Oh man,
Oh, God,
he has, that's got to go in the
No,
book."
you're
too.
rattling off all the good ones. huh?
yeah, so-
No, there's plenty of
classics.
good
You do have a
stories.
book.
Yeah.
You do have a good book in you, and maybe
You gotta write
I got
this
a few,
book.
man.
You
Yeah,
could
I
even
will,
have a
I
TV
will.
show.
I'm
I mean,
working on
anything,
it.
a movie,
Yeah.
all kind of shit. I mean, think
Make
of these
some dough,
fucking
bro.
stories.
The mayhem story, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about when like you felt who you fight Chael and then like the ring broke?
Yeah, the ring broke. Yeah,
In
we
some
smashed
shitty
through the ring.
organization.
And then the corner man comes over. Okay, well, I mean the referee comes over and is like, okay, the ring's broke over there, so just avoid that area. And then me and Chael kept like, yeah, we kept like working our way away from that broken bar. Yeah,
Dude, you
should have thrown him.
He's sitting there. Dude, he goes to New York, right?
Really? Talk
Wait,
about WWE
He's
style.
fighting CB Dalloway, right? So I call him like, "Mayhem, how's your training going?" Right? I see CB like he's at Arizona Combat. He's like
running up mountains and
dude,
shit.
he's in New York. The dominatrix that has him tied up the night before.
Oh, you're just obliterated now.
Then he goes to some sex convention in Jamaica. Like,
What about a sex convention? What, like hedonism?
yeah, hedonism. He's in
Well, I've
hedonism
been there,
3.
yeah.
I was like, I'm not really sure this is the training camp that you
Listen,
should.
that training camp, yeah, I know. The end of my career was the end of my career. Like, I was over it. Yeah. That was a wild one.
What about hedonism?
How was hedonism though?
Did you
weird.
bring
It was
Harwich to
weird.
hedonism? So there's this
man.
one African American woman and an old lady
Was it a
with
bunch of old
I need
people?
some prayer covering while I'm here.
It was a mix that night.
Wait, what?
But then you were dating a dominatrix, right, from New York for a second?
Yeah, she's wild. That's an interesting lifestyle choice. She had slut tattooed on her butt. She was a weird girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like she was a slut.
Yeah.
But half the time, the
Allegedly.
dominatrix ain't even fucking.
Allegedly.
Ain't even
I
fucking
don't know.
the chicks.
There's
They
a
just
written
doing.
record.
But I would have loved for them to do like a road to the octagon, and then they show CB,
Yeah.
like, and then you see him fucking getting him like whipped. Like,
You're writing the next pilot. Good Lord.
like meanwhile, Mayhem is in New York.
Yeah, and it's narrated by Liev Schreiber or whatever the fuck doing that.
Liam Nielsen.
Fucking Hard Knocks.
Hell yeah, man.
Dude.
Liam Schreiber. All right.
No, he does the one for it boxing.
Yeah, Lee
I know.
Yeah.
Oh, he does the
Yeah.
UFC
Wouldn't
now
that be great?
too,
Wouldn't that
doesn't
be-
he? Doesn't he do the
No,
embedded?
who does do the shit on this one? Somebody famous.
I think it's the guy that what's his name? No, I think it's the guy that was in Sons of
Franco
Hellboy.
Oh, it's Ron Perlman.
Ron
Oh,
Perlman.
okay. Not Frank Grillo or something like that.
Yeah.
Ron Perlman does it?
Yeah, he does.
Oh,
he does.
okay.
Do you
Yeah,
do that,
on
now,
that
do you
boy.
stay in contact? Did any of these guys talk to you when you were like Kevin James or those guys that you were friends with, or like
Hick
no.
James.
Listen,
It's
you know
more
what?
like it.
Maybe now that I'm like sane, people might start talking to me.
But people gonna wanna-
But I don't even blame them, honestly. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
just like in this crazy mayhem phase where I was just like, let's do something
Yeah.
crazy, and I just kept doing it. Like, it just
You gotta give people evidence that you really changed. It's gonna take some time.
I was like a little bitter, like
Yeah.
a long time. But now that I clear headed, I can look back in the past like vividly. Like, what the fuck was
Now,
that?
now Kevin,
like,
now
oh,
Kevin
yeah, no
James
shit,
was like
they
in
did
your
one,
corner,
yeah.
right, for the Bisping fight.
Oh, no.
What wasn't he in your corner?
no.
Yeah, he walked out with you. Kevin James did.
I don't think
He
you're allowed
did?
to be in the corner.
He was
without
no.
being
I remember
like-
you said he
Maybe
was.
he could be in the entourage,
He
but
wasn't-
not when.
Exactly. Yeah.
I was like, what was Kevin James gonna say to
He
you?
was fucking.
No, but then you
It's
no,
like
but
when-
kick his ass,
No, but you drove-
no, but you drove down in a bus. Remember for that fight with Kevin James?
I don't
His tour
remember.
bus. You don't remember?
Listen, this is a fuzzy long time ago at this point.
That would be the highlight of somebody's life. And then
No,
for
dude,
him-
I called him after that. I was in the bottom of a cruise ship, and I felt and like
Always on the
What,
cruise
is
ship.
your engine room?
No, there was. I think it was after the CB Dalloway fight. I called you.
you bring up that fight a lot.
And you picked up the phone, and I'm like,
The
"Are
only
you
one who's
okay,
that.
man?" And then you got in trouble for calling the bartender a cunt and like throwing a drink at her.
I didn't throw a drink at her.
Oh.
I know that was like a weird convoluted.
I know how he
story.
don't. I like how he don't remember
I
Kevin James
did
in coming
say
out his
that.
corner, but he's like, that one night I never threw a drink at a fucking bitch.
He wasn't in the corner.
No,
Like,
but you know what I'm
yeah,
saying
I
though?
know.
The memorable fucking thing, and then the one bitch said that he threw a drink.
No.
I definitely remember. I didn't do
Definitely
that.
didn't throw a drink.
Yeah,
at
what are you
anyone.
trying to get him back in the fucking Huska?
You called. That's okay. What happened? She wouldn't give you a drink, right?
Yeah,
There was a bar.
Right
That,
after the fight, I was like, fuck it, let me get a drink. And like some guy poured it, and then a lady came over and like grabbed it. This is not a bar, and I was like,
What do you mean it's not a
I was
bar?
like, yeah, I know it
But
was
wait,
a
what?
bar. And I was like, what? It's not a bar. And so I turned around. I was like, what a cunt. And like, I guess she heard me.
and then
went
told
on-
Dana.
Told on me.
Yeah, it's told Dana.
Ah,
Yeah.
It's in the
But
past.
for the
whatever.
record,
Yeah.
she was
For the record, did not throw a drink.
For the record, she was a cunt, and I did not.
She
throw
was
a
a
drink.
If it was proper 12, it would be okay.
Now, have you?
No,
ever
it's
been
only
in a-
okay if you
anyone
punch
do
him
it?
after.
To be honest, that's about the only thing you should do with that.
Oh, proper 12. Have I been in a corner? I've been in Alan Joban's corner.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've cornered a lot of amateur.
That was the
but
fight that Chitty knocked him out.
That's
though,
what.
right? Oh.
Well, he didn't knock him out. It was a body shot to be.
Okay.
Okay, but I wasn't his fucking striking coach. Okay. I was in there going like what? Like I was hitting the Bible because Chidi was lighting him up. I was like, the Lord is my shot.
Oh, Horowitz, what do I
shall
do?
not watch. Yeah. But yeah, that was the.
Lord
Which
is
one?
my
What's the
shepherd,
one?
I shall not watch.
Yeah, I shall not watch. This black guy is kicking the shit out of.
And then you turn your
Alan
back
Joban.
on Chael. He got mad at you, right?
Why you gotta bring that up?
And that was one of the.
All he does
That
is
broke
bring
up
this
me
stuff
and
up.
Chael's relationship.
That was one of the funniest.
When I had before me and Chael was like gangbusters.
He does Metamoris.
Wait, hold on. But let me start it up first. Me and Chael, I met Chael at like Fox or whatever, and it was like he was the nicest guy. I could, he was very nice and friendly and everything. The opposite of what he's like in the other shit. And we was cool. And I had the Renato Laranja show, and I do the movie parodies and TV show parodies in the beginning. So I was gonna do something called Sanford and Sonnen. So it was gonna be me being Fred Sanford, and he was just gonna be himself, but he's my son, and it was gonna have a nice dynamic. He was on board, everything. So we was doing the fucking
Metamoris.
He was doing Metamoris, and I was in the corner of Galvao. But I didn't train Galvao. It was just kind of gamesmanships or whatever, just having some fun
Okay,
or whatever.
okay.
And then So then, and he also, I have a beefs with Vinny Magalhães, and he trains with Vinny Magalhães. So after he lost the fight, he came to shake everybody like a gentleman. He came to shake everybody's hand, and I was like,
And he turned his back.
and then I thought because Chael and I had a rapport, that it was
He would understand
took
the
it serious.
joke.
He got so mad.
No, but
so mad?
he got very
Awesome.
upset, and then like he forgave. He said like, "Okay, I forget you, whatever." But it's never been like
same,
I feel like
The love
you know
is
how
gone.
some people, and I can't blame. I have myself to blame. I can't blame him for that.
Why'd you turn your back on him?
Listen, never mind why I'm trying to. I made a lot of mistakes. No, but anyway, it wasn't personal or whatever. But you know how some people have a thing like. Maybe to him, like, you shake a man's fucking hand. You know what I'm saying? Like who knows what thing that bring up, like, that mother. So, but it's a shame because after the whole thing, I said, listen, and then I said, you still gonna do the San Francisco? He's like, oh, we'll talk or whatever.
Oh,
And I was like, fuck. And I haven't seen
Hollywood. We'll talk.
No, but
We'll
you can
talk,
tell
yeah.
it meant like, don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah,
And then
I
I
hear
felt
you.
terrible because everything was cool, but I can't. Like a lot of the stuffs I do in my life, that where people get upset with me or whatever,
You can't leave everybody.
I have myself to blame. Nobody told me to go do that. It's
At the
not
same
his
time,
fault.
he should know.
But
He-
you know
he
what?
needs
Hey,
to
listen. I that's my new thing about all the shit that I've did that people get
You're
upset.
blaming yourself?
Well, it's not. Nobody
not
asked
Fernando,
them to. Nobody asked them to have me did that.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Have you gotten laid yet since you've been out or what?
I mean, are you offering?
No.
Well,
I was just saying.
There goes my Tuesday.
I gotta take a shit.
New fish.
I gotta take a shit. So
I'm just saying, like, if I hadn't got laid in a year, I would think I would not last.
Okay.
Or I'd last way
well,
too
he
long.
said he did
Who's the
Newport. He
first one?
came out. And
Who's the first
how
one
many
you're
times?
gonna
Wait a
go
minute. How many
for?
times have you jerked off since you got out?
I don't know. Like, what? Do you
During the show?
punch card or something? Like, what the
punch
fuck?
card.
Yeah, every
10th
30th
one's
one
free.
is free.
Yeah.
Every 10th one, you get a premium membership for a day.
If we lock down, who's gonna be the most sought after piece of trim of the
Listen,
crew here?
I mean, I've got my
Probably me,
I got
just-
my A meat right
Probably
here.
me, just to be-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's a close second.
Yeah, it's the pudginess, I know, but he's got the pretty
Give
face.
this
He's
guy,
tender,
give this
he's a-
guy a shave, maybe.
he's a tender honey. He's tender.
He's not into.
Yeah.
Look at this tender motherfucker
Whereas
right here.
he probably, he smells like an onion patch.
We are joking about
What are some
rape.
what are some jail terms, by the way?
I smell like cardamom.
Terms?
Yeah, like
What?
Cardamom.
Like what?
Like a kite is like a note. They're like, you know what I mean? Like
I like you. Do you like me?
kites. Yeah. No.
Check the box, yes or no?
They're hardcore. The cops try to intercept them. There's like kites going by. They were trying to these guys. I found out they were trying to kill one of the guards.
Oh, shit,
Yeah,
shit.
they intercepted the kite, and then one night they just snatched these guys up out of nowhere. Then I got the story that they seized the kite from another sector coming in to tell this kid to fucking kill the cop. And I was like, damn. And a shank, like I know you know what that
shank,
is.
yeah.
But do you know how to make it?
No.
Toothbrush.
Wait, depend.
Toothbrush, but in my facility they didn't have toothbrushes that were big enough to do that. What guys would tap the sockets with like electrical, like with the electrical sockets with a staple, and a pencil lead, and like catch the oatmeal bowls on fire and like roll them up into you can like make like a super hard. Some kid got found with like a 12-inch one, and like they threw him in the hole immediately. Like it was a wild.
They always find a way to
dangerous
do it.
place to
You gotta find a way, man.
So shank, kite.
Like,
But
look,
wait, how that had to do with sex and stuff, though? Wait.
No, nothing.
just talking sex.
I don't know.
But we
How did Jeffrey
segueing into violence?
How did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself?
Slang. He asked about slang.
how did
pretty
he
simple to
how did he
kill
let
yourself.
somebody kill himself?
It's pretty simple.
How
Well,
did Jeffrey
because
Epstein kill himself?
I was in the same kind of facility he was, like a high security, where they walk by every 30 minutes. So you just wait till they walk by.
You got 29
take your
minutes.
sheets, and you got 29 minutes to hang yourself. Yeah. So more than likely, there's a guy in there in the cell, 2 cells down. I don't know. I don't know what he was on. Thought hung himself, slipped both his wrists. Yeah, and just
What did he slit his
He
wrist
wanted to
with?
make sure he
He
was
wanted
on
to
the
make
exit.
What did he
Sure,
slit
yeah.
his with?
I don't know. He was a blue band.
fucking
I
teeth,
heard.
bro.
I heard he was blue bander, which means he was like a snitch or a child molester.
Oh,
so
he didn't have much hope anyway. Yeah. Either he does it or somebody gonna do it.
Because those guys are the criminals of the criminals, right?
Yeah, nobody. Yeah, they're like sectioned out in another sector. Like they're not with us because like dudes will kill them. Like I seen a guy slice the guy's face off. This kid who got all methed out and he like was robbing a house. And the family came home, and this little boy started beating this meth head with a skateboard. So he stabbed the little kid. Ugh. Well, this guy, he's just a meth head. He's then, got caught in the wrong place. But now he's like ostracized. You hurt kids inside there, well, they try to get you. Yeah. And I seen this kid like walking by, and somebody's like, "Hey, bud, hey, yo, homie, come here." And he jumped out and sliced his face with a razor blade. This guy like had his face hacked off right in front of me. Yeah.
What did you do when that happened?
I laughed.
Really?
Now, why you laugh?
Because there's nothing entertaining going on.
Funny.
It's like there's nothing.
But some people would recoil from that.
I felt bad.
What did you do? What was the guy that got his face cut?
Time, look, that guy made his choices.
Greg, what are your thoughts about him?
I don't think it's great.
Listen, man. He went through it. This is all very real.
Yeah.
What did the guy? I know this is like a funny podcast, but I don't got much funny stories.
No, they're interesting.
Trust me, there's a fucking bunch of funny shit that's
fucking
already
laugh at
happened.
every day.
It's like you say, why did you laugh? It's like, listen, man, in that situation,
I got dark in there.
Yeah,
I got dark because it was funny that the guy fell for it. Like, you know what I mean?
But also you've seen
unexpected.
But do you also think maybe you've seen so much shit in your life?
Bro, yeah, it's getting there.
It's like,
I've seen some dark stuff. Yeah,
dude, it's the same.
But then you told me you were running the comedy night there.
Yeah, I was. Well, no, I just every day.
Thank you for bringing this around,
bro. Every day I would have a 15-minute set to like just kill because the guys would like be pushed up against the door, and I would be the only guy out in the room, and I would just tell shit jokes. Tell jokes about, do impressions of other guys in the cell.
Yeah, crowd work.
Crowd work. A lot of crowd work.
No, it's funny because we did a podcast when you were in there, and then I posted it, and I'm like, yeah, he's doing great. He's leading the workouts. They're like, what kind of? This is what jail is now? Fucking podcasts and workouts. People are like,
I know.
Prison's really changed a lot since fucking.
I don't think it's changed that much.
No. Yeah, it was.
Were you doing actual stand-up bits you wrote down to tell them?
Yeah, weird enough. Yeah, I did. I don't even remember what they were because I just stopped because we got moved and then
what happened with you in upstate New York? Somebody rented you to like go to a farm and there was a fight on a farm, but you ended up fighting the promoter. Or is
human being?
You told me that because I was like, yo, someone's giving me money to go to Buffalo. They're having like a cage fight / county fair, and then you said
I don't think I ever made it.
I
think that was like one of those like. Could have happened, but I probably got locked up or something. It's a lot of those.
Yeah.
But I remember that vaguely.
No,
but it never happened.
No, but I remember one story. My friend Augustino said that you guys want to do a podcast together. So they're at a bar with some guy, and the guy's like, yeah, we'll do it at my house. So he got his address. So Augustino drives to Orange County with Mayhem. They go to someone's house and start like recording a podcast. The guy comes downstairs like, what the fuck are you doing in my house? And then what? And then the guy pulled a gun on you because he just broke into someone's house, started doing a podcast. like some guy that like at a bar was like, yeah, you can record in my house. Like he was talking shit. And then they start doing a podcast and the guy pulled out a gun. You're like, shoot me, I'm not afraid to die. And Augustino was like, how the fuck did I get here? Like I thought I was doing a podcast. Now there's a gun pulled on Mayhem. He was like,
oh yeah, I know. You did a great job of telling that story.
Oh, thanks.
You want to hold up some scores like a 10 and cover the one?
No, man, you should just have what you should do is you should have all your friends come and everyone just tell stories about what you did.
Record them. Write them down.
Not the good stuff.
I'm sure you would find them
You probably don't
interesting.
remember half the fucking
And refreshing.
Yeah, they're gonna have all the best stories.
The oral tradition.
I love it. You're gonna have to research your own book about your experience.
That's how a lot of people do that shit.
I am kind of.
No, that's how people. That's what they were said on that thing. You ever seen that show behind the Tales from the Tour Bus?
Yeah.
You know, a lot of those guys were saying, "Look, I don't." What's his name? Bootsy Collins was like, "Oh shit, I'm learning half the shit from you."
Yeah.
guys. Hey, one heel question. Back in the prison shit about the guy who killed the kid.
Yeah.
I never understand. Now, do they make it public? Like, how did everybody know exactly what that guy's charge was?
You got to show your papers.
No. I'm saying
if you're in a regular sector, like a high security sector, like
Yeah.
like they like force you to like show your.
And you have that head.
I forgot.
Intake
They
papers
have a
or whatever.
But you have to
They
have
a
that on
different
on your
term for it.
person.
No. I forgot the vernacular for it. They say some
intake
term.
forms or whatever.
Show me. No, it's not your intake. It's your sheet. Like
you have sheet.
Show like all that. You got to print it out.
Oh, even
Get
shit
it
that you did
printed.
before
If
and
you
shit?
wanna, if you want to be, because a lot of crimes, they turn your back on you. Like you can't be in.
Okay, so they make sure they keep everybody in. Okay,
Yeah,
I got it.
No crimes against children.
Yeah.
None of that kind
Yeah,
of
like
shit.
you're cool if you're petty theft or some kind of
Yeah, if you're a
burglary or
thief or
something,
whatever.
but
Or just
you
anything
fucking-
but
yeah.
killing
Some
the kids
crimes
and
Yeah,
shit.
that are
fucking the
like,
kids or like
pimping.
Hey-
Pimping, they like look down on. You wouldn't be able to be in there.
Fuck.
Yeah, so
Damn.
it's
You're gonna get eaten alive.
It's kind of like it's a different culture. It's a weird culture, and it just sprung up from this crazy system that we were bitching about earlier. But like, that it's
How'd you stay in good shape?
So much culture.
It's like they
though.
have their own moral.
I had to, bro. Hanging from the table doing pull-ups, doing push-ups, and doing squats, and I would shadow box and like kind of just move my body. If you don't, you go insane.
Yeah.
And you do
Well,
a
you
lot
got to use your energy.
A lot of
too.
cardio
You
too.
don't
Are
wanna-
you
the only
running
way
a
to
lot?
sleep.
Oh, I ran. Yeah, they let me in the yard 3 times a week, and I would just run for an hour.
What was your favorite meal in there?
None of them.
But what of the worst?
Yeah,
what's
what
the
was
best?
the-
Hamburger Wednesday, baby. Here we go. I would be
Ooh.
getting excited for this.
That's like that
shitty
public school
hamburger.
hamburger.
It
Yeah.
is.
And
On the
then
fucking
what
tray.
about, what's the worst? Oh, it was so that's the best. What was the absolute goddamn it?
This stuff I call cat vomit that we have on for breakfast.
What do they call it though? You don't know?
Gravy.
Grits and gravy.
Fucking
This
biscuits and
slop,
gravy.
bro. Straight out of Charles Dickens. Like, I was
But you didn't ask for more like he
Please, sir.
did. Please, no more.
like, definitely not. Yeah.
Did you have a guy who hooked you up who said like, no
I
more
just
pinto
bought-
beans
I
for
just
you?
bought tuna fish off the commissary, and I was eating tuna fish. I went to jail before, and I made the mistake of just eating a honey bun, like comfort eating,
Right.
eating a honey bun every day.
I'm fucking being here
Fucking
anyway.
mistake,
Why?
bro? Fuck, 250 pounds. I came out like just fat faced, like feeling like shit, addicted to junk food. Like that's this
Now, when you
time,
were
I said,
when you were
"Fuck that,
juicing
work out."
when you were juicing for the movie, right? For the Here Comes the Boom.
Was I?
Jesus Christ, you're telling everybody.
Like how much did that affect your mood and stuff?
I don't know.
It probably helped. It could only help.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm kidding. I mean, come on. What'd you
what
think?
The fuck are you thinking? Yeah.
Like, do you think drugs and alcohol play anything?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, throw some fucking anabolic
Played a part
steroids
in
into the
Yeah,
mix.
throw some juice in the mix.
Wait, so when you was in the
Fucking
church,
fantastic.
Yeah. Let me eat McDonald's and
Yeah.
take steroids.
Was your mood affected
Yeah.
by that?
So how do you feel right now? Well, my glucose level's a little low. Yeah. Fuck that.
You know, one thing I was thinking way back, I mean, to get on something not depressing, but serious though, is how we're talking about you staying on the straight and narrow and shit like that. And when you have that feeling of like, you don't care if you live or die,
Yeah.
that's one thing. But if you think about it in this way, like if you're thinking about fucking up again, you imagine that you're a dangerous motherfucker, and if you're unleashing that onto people, you know what I'm saying, out in the
thing
world.
that- you know what's funny about that is I didn't get that really.
Yeah, but now-
because I was all drunk and blurry.
Yeah.
And I would like be having fun.
Yeah.
Like when I was wrestling with the cops, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
At the time.
Yeah.
And then I don't realize because you're outside, you're not out.
Yeah.
You're not really all the way in there. And
You're like looking at yourself
fuck up the
living your
cop.
life.
Yeah, I'm just like kind of like everything was funny all the way up to the jail cell.
Well,
And then
it-
it was still
but
kinda
it's
funny.
like the Hulk.
And I was like, yeah,
You know,
exactly.
it-
Then I come down.
Yeah, and you
inside the
got
cell,
blood and
now, my purple pants are all ripped.
Yeah.
I was just, what the fuck is going on?
But the thing is, one of these days, it's not about you, even if you don't care if you died trying to do some crazy shit. one of these days, it might be some people who get caught in the fucking mix there, you know. And that's maybe that's the thing to focus on, you know.
I was walking back from the bar one time, screaming "fuck you" on the street. I don't know why. I just kept screaming "fuck you" and flipping the whole world off. And this is how I felt.
Yeah, I seen a lot of those guys.
I see like a carload of dudes go "fuck you," and I was like "fuck you," and I started cracking up like, "Ha, those guys are hilarious." Well, I turned back, and there's 3 Mexican kids running across the street, and they had parked the car. That was them, and I was like, "Oh, y'all want to fight, huh?" And I started fucking swinging at them, and I was training a lot, but I was, fucking up drinking. I swing. I connected with this one kid, dunked his head, but I had the wherewithal to go, "Oh shit, I'm like, if I knock this dude out, I'm gonna he's gonna hit his head on the concrete. I'll kill him." So I just started body shotting them to death. And I kept body shotting them.
That guilty conscience, gotcha.
They all gave up. And I was like, you see that? I beat up 3 dudes. They're like, there was 4 dudes. And I was like, they all quit from body shots? She's like, yeah. And I was like, I had the wherewithal.
They were all 11 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could have went. It could have went a lot worse.
It could have. Yeah,
because I hit the guy one time, and I hit him in the
it.
top of the head. And what if I hit him in the jaw?
Yeah. And what if he's also not even a bad guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, and you end up killing the fucking guy.
I was like, thanks for not jumping me. She was like, they were trying to jump you. You just kept beating their body.
But can you even blame them? A guy's like, fuck you. I mean, you've probably did the reverse of that.
I was looking for a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
And they were looking for a fight.
They were too. And so we had a fight. Yeah. And it was a good time.
All right.
But
listen, we gotta wrap this up. But this has been awesome. I laughed.
This is a classic episode.
I learned
right
a lot.
We haven't done one like
Mayhem,
this in a while.
I'm so happy you're free, man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm really happy for you, man.
Again, protect what you got, man.
For real.
Protect what you got, where you're at.
Calm down, Dad.
I want you to,
I love you.
I like
man.
this version of you, man. This is your best version.
I agree.
So what do you got coming up, Greg?
I don't know. October 3, 4, 5, I think it is. I'll be at the Stir Crazy in Phoenix.
Yes.
And then the week after that, which I think is 12 through 14 and 12 through the 15th, I'll be in El Paso doing a full benefit weekend for the victims of the El Paso shooting.
Nice.
Awesome.
And Renato, what do you got?
Well, I got a lot of stuff, so I don't want to bore you with that because I got so much gigs and so much money coming in right now. But I'm gonna just to say that I'm gonna announce everything on Renato _Laranja, which is my Instagrammy, and also. You can also went now for all you fans to my website, which is
Finally.
True. For you guys, is gonna buy some stuff. It's renatolaranja.com, and there's all kind of stuff on there. You can see me and what exploits I've got into, and what stuff you can buy from me and stuff. And you can also go into my Patreon, and you can just donate some money to your Uncle Henach. So I can continue to live the lifestyle that I'm accustomed to.
Okay. Also, for me, if you guys support MMA Roasted and you want to see more of these stuff, endorse me on Rockfin, ROKFIN /Adam Hunter.
Boy.
I put all kinds of stand-up comedy on there, all kinds of podcasts. You get extra podcasts. I had Stephan Bonner on last week, as well as Jeremy Kennedy, all kinds of podcasts. So rockfin.com /Adam Hunter. October 3rd to the 6th, I'll be in Myrtle Beach at the Carolina Comedy Club. October 11th and 12th at Tiff's Comedy Club in Morris Plain, New Jersey. Then I will be at I'll be headlining the Laugh Factory in Las Vegas that following week. And then I'm at
Which week is that?
The 20
The
October?
following week.
Okay, because I'll be there the week of October 25th. I want to come by and see you.
Yes, that
Yeah,
week. Yeah, that week. I think it's the week before that, but maybe not. Go to adamhunter.com. And then also I will be at the Long Beach Laugh Factory Thursday night. Mayhem, if you want to come, I know you live right there.
All right.
As well as Saturday night at the Long Beach Laugh Factory. Tyler.
Booked a movie, so I'm going to be on set the next 3 weeks to a month. Yeah. Background.
That's awesome.
Lorenzo Lamas joint.
Lorenzo Larkin.
No, but you're not just background. You're background special skills.
I'm background special ability, so
Right,
I'm
which
getting a
is-
little more money and maybe some
Which is
screen
excellent,
time.
yeah.
And yeah, so it should be cool. And hit me up on Instagram, SmithRowBJJ.
Jason.
Man, I ain't even got access to my Instagram, so I mean,
Soon.
Why? What happened?
I don't know. I my website lapsed when I was in. Someone bought my website while I was in jail. Someone bought it and like rerouted the traffic to their like t-shirt website. I'm like, Jesus Christ. You know, I got a lot of shit to put back together. But you know what?
Hey, listen, you're just getting started. You will get it all done.
You think it was Tim Kennedy?
The world is probably, I feel all right. You know what I mean? I'll get everything going.
No, he beat him twice. He beat Tim Kennedy twice.
No, I lost the first one.
Oh, you won the
And
second
then I
one?
beat his ass the second time.
You beat him on CBS on Strike Force.
Something like that.
And then you're still responsible for the best brawl in the history. Remember when he fought the whole Diaz brothers?
I forgot about that until just now. He's done it all.
That's right.
He's done it everything.
He goes, where's my rematch? And then
Legendary.
he fought all of
Ryan.
209.
I was watching that live. Yeah.
Oh, I love
And then an hour later, he puts on Twitter, oops.
Not an hour, like 10 minutes later.
That is a oops for sure.
And then what's his name? Gus Johnson goes, these things happen in MMA.
No, they don't. Yeah.
Well, thank you
Sometimes
guys.
these things happen.
What else the fuck else he's gonna
It's
say?
literally never happened before. That's
I know.
that's never happened.
Man. Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
I
It's a
got
nice way to get back into the community, get back on the internet.
It's a cross
I
between
appreciate
people
it.
in prison culture and
I mean,
normal
it's-
people.
Bro,
This is the positive part of the internet.
I feel comfortable here. Yeah. All right now.
No problem.
We're gonna
God bless
look out
Good
for
stuff,
you, my
brother.
Okay.
All right.
Ciao.